You're like, oh, much less threatening.
All right, peeps. What's up, everyone? We are live. I am Squall Rush, and this is GNB Nerding Out. It's our new name we came up with the podcast with, so I hope you guys like it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Ninja 7.
Wait, hang on.
Ninja.
Wait.
My bad.
I'm playing an intro video.
Okay. Such a nice intro video too.
Let's see.
Alrighty. Hope you guys enjoyed that little intro video, but we are back. Alright. Now we can do the introductions. So yeah, I'm Squall Rush, gaming addict, anime nerd, Dragon Ball Z fanatic, all of the above. Yeah, I think I'm pretty well versed in anime. Let's see. Let's go with favorite. I said actually one out of your top 5 animes and one out of your top 5 video games of all time. For me, it's one of my top 5 animes of all time will have to be probably Attack on Titan, and a video game I will choose definitely Final Fantasy VIII, as you guys can tell by my name. Let's see, from my point of view, it looks like Pope, Churro, then Chewie, then 7 Ninja. So, Pope, go ahead and introduce yourself. Plug your socials at the end as well.
What's good? What's good? What's going on, guys? This is Pope King, variety gamer, 37-year-old dad. Sheesh. Top 5 anime. One of my top 5. Other than Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, other than Dragon Ball.
My Hero's really been heating up. Saw some recent My Hero episodes, and I'm in love with it. Oh boy. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make it easy on myself. I'm gonna go with My Hero. It is definitely in the top 5. So yeah, I go with My Hero.
All right. Good choice, I gotta say. I will say though, this is me. I'm Churro. Hope. I just recently finished My Hero. I did not like the end.
Oh.
I'm so disappointed at the ending.
Don't talk to me.
Everything between the beginning to the end was amazing, and I hated the ending.
Right now, because of what I saw today, I don't even care about anybody else. I love you, Gabi.
Oh, I'll give you that one.
I love you so much. Your blue flames of what? I'm done.
He's cool. No, I'll give you that. He's real cool. But it's the ending. It left a sour taste in my mouth. But it's me. It's Churro. My top 5 favorite animes are all filled with fucking slice of life animes. But I will give one that I think it's a pretty good, all around good anime. It's called School Rumble. School Rumble, super fucking cool. Even if you don't like stupid love triangle kind of animes, School Rumble still has so much to like. It's such a funny anime. It's so fun. And it has really cool, like, almost action scenes too, where, like, in one of the, like, arcs, they have, like, a big, like, almost Call of Duty gunfight in the school. In a school. So, it has a little bit something for everybody. And top 5 favorite video games, my number 1 is definitely Mega Man. Mega Man X being my favorite of all time. I can speed run that game, not competitively, but I can speed run it at 45 minutes.
Oh damn.
Mm-hmm. My bad. Listen, I forgot to tell you guys my favorite game. I'm so sorry. To be honest with you, it'd have to be Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, okay.
Oh, hey, yeah.
Fire. And don't forget to plug your socials, Pope King.
Oh man, my apologies. Listen, you guys can catch me on Twitch, Pope King X. I'm also on YouTube, PKX. I'm also on TikTok, PKX. Pope King X, PKX. Same guy, all the way.
Churro, did you set up your Twitter?
I do. I have a Twitter. Everybody can check me out at Churro-chan. It's Twitter. I got nobody else out there goes by Churro-chan, so it's me. Just look for the little picture with the hamster.
Nice. All right, Chewy.
All right, guys. I'm Chewy, better known as Stuff Central on the web. I was, top 5 animes, kind of tough. I like a lot of old school ones, but I'm going to hit y'all with Vinland Saga. I fucked with Vinland Saga recently. Season 1 was super gory, and then Season 2 was kind of a different vibe, but I still fucked with it. So, it was fire. It was fire. And then, favorite video game, Pope, you said Elden Ring. I love all the FromSofts, but I'm going to have to say Rocket League. I'm a Rocket League sweat.
There we
go. That's what I do. I be sweaty. So, yes,
sir. I love it.
And then plug your socials.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, fucking Twitch, Kick, Rumble, everywhere. It's either Stuff Central or Stuff Central 710. For those that aren't, I think Twitch and Twitter have the 710 on the end. But yeah, Stuff Central. It's a Rocket League thing because when there's 2 cars and you can stuff them. It's a dunk, better known. That's where I got that name from. But yeah.
Who's next?
You.
Okay. I'm 7 Ninja 7. I am a ninja connoisseur. I watch pretty much any anime. literally, you just let me know and I might check it out. Outside of that, favorite anime. Yeah, I would have said Kamui. But not anymore. Not with how it is right now. I'm gonna say, have you guys heard of the anime called Gate?
Gate?
Not Steins Gate, but Gate.
Can't say I have.
Basically a world from like a fantasy realm opens up into like Japan, and it's basically like a portal, and like Japan's army goes through, and it's like, you know how usually like you see like guns and stuff like going to a fantasy world, like they just get decimated. Like it's the other way around. The army takes them out like nothing. It's such a break in what's usually happening that it has to be at the moment one of my favorite animes right now.
Oh wait, that's the one with the girl with the big like fucking Lolita dress that's black and red, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I know. I've seen pictures of it. I've never actually watched it though. I've heard good things about it.
It's enjoyable.
Interesting.
Now, favorite game. You know,
Well, just
I
one
want
out of
to
your
say
top
like
five.
yeah, the one I've been playing recently, but it's still too early. So I'm gonna say Crash Team Racing, not Nitro Fueled, but the first one.
Natural fuel? Huh.
Ooh.
Racing.
Not Nitro Fueled.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then plug your
and
socials.
Socials. You can find me on MeWe, Game Jolt. I do have a Twitter. I'm not on there. Rumble 7ninja7. More than likely, it's more than likely me. If it says 7ninja7, the Phantom. If you don't see that anywhere, in my logo, like it's not me.
Okay. And then let's see. So we're gonna start with anime first. Is that the general consensus here?
I think we should, just because some people, like, not that it's a bad thing, but we're talking about One Piece, and it's because it's so big and you guys are just like at the very beginning of it, I think we can start with that and move on.
Alrighty. All right, 1 second. I'm gonna start it right now. Anime discussion.
Oh, damn.
Alrighty, so our segment for today on anime is One Piece. Let me type it in the chat and feature this comment. Anime One Piece. Alright, so Churro, as you know, we started with the live action. Some of us didn't finish it, including me. I got up to episode 7, so go ahead, I'll let you lead it.
So, I guess like I would have to we can start off with as far as you've gotten, because I don't remember where episode 7 ends exactly. I know he said that it's like right before Arlong. Have you guys met Sanji yet?
Yes.
Okay, so it's picked up on
No,
Sanji. Yes, okay. So in the current crew, you guys have it's Usopp, Nami, Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy, of course.
Mhm.
Am I missing anyone there? I don't think so. All right. So I guess from the part that you guys are at, who would you say is actually the strongest in the crew right now? Like where you're at?
Are we talking about fighting ability or like technique, or raw power? I mean,
I would say raw power.
raw power. I'm gonna have to say Luffy, but then again, he feels like a potential problem. So he's like not there yet in my eyes. But if we're taking away from potential, I'm gonna have to say Zoro.
That's a good choice, honestly.
Yeah. That's fair.
For me, I'm not gonna lie. I thought, I don't know if it's just this live action or what, because I remember them all being a lot stronger. Like this live action doesn't really show Luffy doing much. Doesn't really show Zoro doing much. But like of everyone I've seen, like Zoro is probably like the strongest I've seen so far. No, actually Luffy, because he did do that fight against that one pirate with the five claws. Forgot his name. The butler though, and like he was,
Kuro.
yeah, he was pretty fast, pretty strong, and Luffy did defeat him.
Pope, any objections?
I can't really agree with Luffy being the strongest at that point. I mean, me personally, yeah, I would have to say Zoro at that point in time. I can't really say Luffy because like in the beginning, like I agree with you. It's like he's not doing much. It's not showing him. It's not showing him to be what he's really supposed to be or really should be. Like when you look at the anime, probably hands down, yeah, Luffy. But I think with the way the live action is kind of, I think Zoro.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fair.
Who hasn't gone yet? I feel like one.
Chewy.
Well, yeah, we're on the anime watch, like, because I'm further than, I've watched past it. But from the live action perspective, y'all missing out on episode 8 because it really shows the skills of everybody.
Ah, damn.
The last episode, like, really pops off. So from that point of view, so I'd say Zoro from just the live action because he gets slashed by Mihawk, but then he's still out there in the trenches the next episode, still injured. So yeah, from the live action point of view, Zoro. My opinion.
So the reason I ask is because like it's a pretty big debate always, like in One Piece, whether it's like live action or normal, who's stronger, Sanji or Zoro? Not Sanji, Zoro or Luffy, because Zoro puts up a hell of a fight in a lot, like even in like current arcs, you would assume that Luffy would become like as strong to show his complete raw power, and he kind of does. But there is still an argument to be made that Zoro is just as strong, and it's kind of like a small consensus, or an argument is like, especially here at the beginning, people said that Zoro's definitely stronger than Luffy. And it's because, one, he's more skilled. He's like a bounty hunter. We even see him in the live action. He takes out somebody no problem, brings him in a fucking bag, head sticking out, right?
Yeah, right.
And weirdly enough, that's almost the most ruthless we see Zoro. There's one point in what's called the Alabaster arc that I don't think it gets to in live action. I think it hints at it, but it doesn't get to. But there's one point where Zoro does something there that is just fucking awesome. Like, he cuts somebody up in like just the best, most brutal way. And it's those kind of arguments that it's just like, well, it's weird because there's so many kind of like main characters to One Piece. Like the whole crew is almost like the main character, but Luffy's the one we follow everywhere. But Zoro is almost like everyone's top favorite. So I wanted to see what you guys felt like about who's actually stronger right now, like Zoro or Luffy. And a lot of people think Zoro right now is stronger, and they don't think Luffy ever surpasses him.
I wanted to say something really. So it's crazy because I'm sitting here thinking, and I may change my answer, and I'll go with Luffy because I'm forgetting that, and you just kind of brought this to my attention. He's a bounty hunter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So his attacks have intent to kill.
Yep,
Luffy's doesn't.
that's true.
And that's a conscious decision. So if we were to take that conscious decision away from Luffy, now what are we talking about?
I don't think he's refined enough, if I'm honest. And what I mean by that is I've seen some of the different forms Luffy has, and it's just like, I don't think he at this point is refined enough where like he might be able to knock a guy out and maybe he could like drown him or whatever. But like at the current form, I don't think he's gonna beat Zoro right now.
I mean, but still, he's still not trying to kill. His attacks don't have intent to kill. So with that being said, it's almost like that whole theory with Superman, right? Where he can't use his full power because if he does, he'll destroy the planet. So it's kind of like that in a way. I mean, Luffy's on top of that, Luffy's not trained, and he has all of this raw ability within him, but his strikes and his attacks aren't meant to kill. Like, he's not trying to hurt people. He's not trying to. He's always trying to avoid it, whatever the case may be. So he's not trying to kill anyone. As with Zoro, if he's coming after you, no, it's an intent to kill. It's not like I'm not trying to let you live. This isn't a lesson I'm trying to teach you. I'm actually trying to kill you. So I mean, I'm just taking that into account, and because I'm taking that into account, I have to change my answer from Zoro to Luffy. I understand maybe at this time it may seem so, but then again, still, even at this time in a live action, there's still no malice behind his attacks. Even when he's fighting someone that has intent to kill in their attacks against him. That's all I have to say.
You actually bring up a good point, because like, I don't think even up to like current One Piece, I don't think there's ever a time where I'm trying to think of a time where Luffy actually wanted to like kill somebody. There is a point in one arc, I think it's called Thriller Bark, where somebody takes Luffy's shadow, and that shadow kind of contains everything that is Luffy, and they put it in something else. And the thing that they put it in is so strong and powerful that nobody can take it out because of the raw power that Luffy actually has. And that thing, that
zombie thing?
yeah.
Okay.
I like Pope brings up a good point, because I don't think Luffy's ever wanted to actually try and kill somebody.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know his capabilities. Like it's one thing to know like how hard you can punch, like Superman, and it's another thing to not know it all. And so, based on that idea alone, it's like, well, if you don't know you can punch that hard, you might punch a little harder, but like it's something you've got to learn. And I feel like based on that idea, I still would say Zoro's got him. Because he's been practicing, he's been refining himself. He knows how hard to swing. He knows how to swing. He knows how to be precise, to sharpen, whatever. He's got all that. But Luffy, he's still learning himself and learning what he's going to be as a captain.
Something, I don't know if they brought this up in I'm pretty sure they didn't. Luffy's big weakness is actually swords, because things can still cut him, but impact attacks won't hurt him as much. So Zoro is technically a counter to Luffy because of the sword.
Yeah. One person that could actually just get him up out of there, to be honest with you.
We did see Kuro cut him.
Okay. They might have brought it up, because I remember it's in the Buggy arc that they bring it up in the anime, in the manga, where they're like, oh, why did you dodge his attack? You're made of rubber. And he's like, because rubber can still be cut. So he can still be cut.
This is all good stuff to know. That does change up my opinion a little bit. I mean, I do like Zoro more as a character. I remember like Zoro and Nami both having more emotion in the anime, like versus the live action. They're just kind of like monotone and lifeless almost. But for Zoro, I think it actually kind of works with his character. I actually kind of think he's really cool. Like when he was when they were captured by Buggy, and he was just stuck on that thing, like roped to it, and like that one clown spun him and started throwing the knives at him, and like he's just like it's like smacking the board right by him, like right by his head, and he's just like sitting there like whatever. It was kind of cool to me. But in terms of power between the two, they're both kind of like, it's kind of hard to tell at this point in time, because they're both kind of like around the same to me. Like, but like knowing now that Luffy's weakness is the sword, that does kind of change up my perspective a little bit. What about you, Churro? You got anything?
Yeah.
Or my bad, Churro. I meant Chewy.
I feel like later in the anime. Well, sorry, we're kind of jumping the freak ahead, but Luffy has these special abilities, they're called gears, and so he kind of has to summon these powers to get super strong. And Zoro's for the most part just always strong, which he does have his own little like summoning his special power, but like even without it, he's still super dangerous. So I don't know. Even like today, it's still kind of, Luffy has to hit his Super Saiyan form as opposed to Zoro's just that guy always. So yeah, that's just something that I had to put out there because Zoro's scary. It just stays scary at all times.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of Zoro's cool feats is in the Wano arc, he gets captured. Like he lets himself get captured by some nobody, and they're just like, "Oh, you." And it's like a Edo Japan kind of period, and so they sit him down and they give him like a tiny dagger, like a tiny, almost looks like a kitchen knife, with no actual hilt on it. It just has like wrapping around it. And they're like, because of the crimes you've committed, you have to kill yourself, commit seppuku. And Zoro's just like, I'm not going to do that. And he takes the tiny knife. He takes a small knife. Like I said, it looks like a kitchen knife. And he's like, I guess this is good enough. And he grabs it. He essentially slashes the air. And the slash that he does cuts through the person who told him to execute himself and his entire house. Not just the house, but a mansion. With this nothing of a sword.
Huh.
He doesn't power up. He doesn't level up. He doesn't go Super Saiyan. Nothing. He's just like, no, whoosh. I'm gonna leave now. A knife. Beam just destroy everybody.
Is that the power of hockey?
No, I don't think he even uses hockey. I legit don't even think he uses hockey. He just literally just cuts the air so hard that it like pierces the air.
Which that gets established in like Annie's lobby where people swipe so hard, like air shoots out, and then so it's like the air that cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that gets established later. Which that's kind of what he does. He just swipes so hard that a giant blast comes out. And it's ridiculous.
So he puts his chi into it.
I guess that's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's those kind of feats that make people question, like, can Zoro really just take out Luffy? Because again, Luffy has to have these power-up attacks. He has to power up. He has to level up. Zoro's just a monster in his base form. And but like I think Ninja said it, Luffy has a lot of potential because of kind of those power-ups. If you're just a monster always, though, can you just take out the person who has potential before he even reaches there?
Yeah, definitely. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna do an ad read real quick.
Yeah.
Rumble's exclusive apparel has finally arrived. They are now offering 20% off all purchases in the Rumble store with the discount code DROP20. If you want to support the brand that is fighting for free speech and fighting for our First Amendment, this is the best way to do it. They have tees, sweaters, hats, plus much more. Go to rumble.store, and make sure to drop 20 as the promo code to get 20% off your entire order. Alrighty.
20%.
Now, let's say
20% is good for real, though.
yeah,
Get that 20 real.
I might have to do that. Now, let's say Zoro gets like some sort of super form. Now, what are we talking about here? Zoro versus Luffy. Is Zoro just blown out of the water at this point? Like out of Luffy's league, or is Luffy got more in him to keep going higher gears?
I think he might have more in him.
Yeah. The little demon mode or whatever he goes
yeah.
into.
Mm-hmm.
This is madness.
I'm reminded there's a specific point where Zoro takes a part of it's something Luffy is dealing with, and Zoro says, "I want to take on some of his burden."
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing that, and I was like, I think in this way, like Zoro pretty much shows that he's weaker than Luffy based on that idea alone. And it's just like he takes on some of his burden, but he's only dealing with a fraction of what Luffy's really dealing with. And so it's like, if he got a power up, no, isn't Luffy dealing with that in base form too?
He's definitely dealing with it in a less form than he is now. But yeah. I wouldn't say base form, but a lesser form, yes.
Yeah. And so he's like, Zoro. I mean, if you got, I feel like it's kind of one of those things that's just like, you know, as a swordsman, you get better at your craft. And that's kind of what he would do. If he got a power up, it's really going to be just raw power and raw speed, I think. But like, isn't he like the, not, I don't know if I want to say second in command, but isn't he like pretty much just like the second powerhouse at least?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, if he got an upgrade, I feel like Year 5 is a different story, right? You're talking about pretty much God mode, like cartoon level of God mode.
Yeah, no.
It all depends on can you hurt God mode or cartoonery. It all depends on that idea. Can he do that? If yes, then sure.
So Gear 5 just completely blows Zoro out of the water. Like Zoro's not even close to Luffy Gear 5.
I would say so. Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like, so in the fights that Luffy has had in Gear 5, he has taken some monster attacks. Like, it's not like he hasn't like taken a punch. But when he's out of Gear 5, even after taking those punches, he doesn't look damaged. He doesn't look hurt. He's just tired. And so it's like, I feel like if Zoro went up against a Gear 5 Luffy, even if Zoro was at his peak, he could slash him, he could cut him, he could do whatever he wants to him. But as long as Luffy just doesn't get tired, he's going to get out of Gear 5 and just be like, well, that was fun.
Yeah, that's the biggest holdback is those little time limits that Luffy has, because it's a lot on his body. But that kind of goes back to what I was saying. It was like, oh, hey, Zoro doesn't need that. He's just a savage, you know, without having these drawbacks, per se, the time limit drawbacks.
Okay.
Can you explain to me this thing about the life force?
Hold on.
I'm thinking of two different.
Pope was saying
No, I'm
something.
gonna say,
Sorry, Pope.
this is standard play.
Okay, so can you explain to me this point about the life force? I'm hearing on one hand it's like, okay, it's burning his lifespan, but then I've seen some enemies where life forces they're talking about blood. So is it his blood or is it his lifespan that's burning with the Gear 5?
In what has been established, from my understanding, it's his lifespan. So it takes away part of his, like, if he was going to live 100 years, when he uses it, he gets like a week taken off kind of thing. It takes away from that. But it also takes away from just like his energy, like his calorie consumption, essentially. Like, it just quadruples that consumption, so he just has to consistently get that kind of like power. So it's kind of a little bit of both. It drains his life span, but while he's using it, his energy level is also depleting super quickly.
Okay. So it sounds like it's just using up both his energy and like his lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
The Gear 5?
Yep.
Yes.
Why are we using that then? That's crazy.
Why are we in there? Sometimes you need to, man. Sometimes you're fighting giant dragons and stuff.
Make Gear 4 work now.
Just to deal with it. So, I have a question, Squall, for everybody. Who was y'all's favorite non-Straw Hat character, the live-action watchers?
Who wants to start? I got mine.
I gotta think about that.
I got mine. Mine will be, out of the live action I've seen so far, I think his name is Zeph. The dude that was the owner of the restaurant with Sanji. Like, I don't know, just how badass he was. Like, he didn't take a single drop of food, gave it all to Sanji as a kid when they like crashed the ship and then they were stuck on a little piece of rock. And I don't know, just that goodbye Sanji did to Zeph before he took off with the Straw Hat crew. Yeah, bro. Like, I was like, damn, bro, this is sad. Like this is powerful right here, yo. Yeah, so like for like those couple of moments, like I like Zeph the most.
Did he give up his leg?
Yep, he ate his own leg to survive.
Yeah. Live action character. Who's my favorite? That is crazy because that's kind of hard to say. Honestly, you know what? The kid, the Marine kid.
Oh,
Kobe?
Kobe. There we go. Yes, Kobe.
I liked him. I kind of liked him.
Yeah.
I liked seeing him. I liked seeing him like his growth. I liked seeing like he's coming out of his shell in a way. I loved seeing that.
Bro, Kobe becomes
Yeah.
so fucking cool.
Yeah,
Now,
right.
if we're talking about the Straw Hat crew, though, Nami, I like Nami. I love her presence. Like, obviously she's a girl, whatever. But I love the idea that like when Nami shows up, like she feels like a real part of the team before she actually becomes the navigator. So I'm enjoying that. Like that, her fighting technique and all that. I loved all that. And the thievery, I loved all that.
Yeah, that personality of being a finesser, that is very appealing, for sure.
I dig it. Pope, what you got?
Arlong.
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 Okay. That's fine. He's a villain with it.
Yeah, man. I'd have to say him. Just based off of the live action too. I kind of like how he was presented. That's just about it. I'm not like a super big One Piece fan. I know it, but I barely know it. But what I do know of it, I think it is good. I would have to some time and actually like really watch that shit from episode 1 all the way. I think I got involved recently only with it when he acquired his most recent form. What is it, Gear 6?
Gear 5.
No,
Yep.
is it Gear 5?
Yep.
No, I'm talking about like the anime. Is it Gear 5? That's
Yeah.
the one where he turns his
The-
white hair. He has white
The
hair.
white hair. Yep, that's Gear 5.
That's Gear 5?
Yeah.
That shit's I'm not gonna lie. Bro, he's made of fucking rubber. Burn him. Like, I'm over that shit, bro.
Light him on
How
fire.
is he doing all of this damage? Like, get out of here.
Think about Usopp.
I hate
Nah,
Usopp.
nah.
What's up with his nose? What's up with his nose?
Wait, hold on. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a sec. We'll get that in a sec. Churro, favorite live anime or live action character?
It's gotta be. I'm biased, but it's gotta be Garp.
Garp.
Yeah, Garp is so
Yeah,
fucking cool.
he is cool. I did like Garp.
I'm biased because of how much I've actually read, but Garp, God, he's so fucking cool.
Damn. I was actually going to pick Garp myself as well. It could be the bias of knowing, a little this and that of the extraness, but just kind of from the live action thing, he eats a freaking cannonball. Like, that's just amazing. And you're like, what the freak? And then, you figure out some things later on that just kind of make him that much better in the anime. So, yeah, Garp,
Yeah.
I agree.
But going back to my most controversial character, Usopp. I hate Usopp. I'm so glad that they didn't try and do the stupid nose thing with his character, but God. It's the thing. Have you guys seen the anime version of Usopp?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
okay.
the long goofy nose.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever explain why he has that. But other characters do have long noses like him.
Sure.
But I don't think you ever explain why. And I just want to preface something. I don't hate Usopp because I think he's the worst. It's just that he's like an A tier character surrounded by nothing but S tier characters. That's kind of why I don't like him.
Okay, I thought he was a lot weaker than that.
It feels weird though to see him not have his nose, but then see like Arlong. Is it Arlong with the pointy
With the
nose?
big point, yep.
Yeah, it's weird to me that Arlong has the big pointy nose, but then Usopp's just a regular dude. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Because I feel like that's his thing, though. He's the sword tooth fish or whatever. So that's kind of, and he's a fish man. So I don't know. Maybe
But don't they
just
bring
didn't
up
wanna-
his? Did they bring up in the anime and the manga like Usopp's nose is important to his identity or something? Like he's pretty much average without it. Like,
I mean,
isn't that he got a nickname or something?
He gets mixed up with other long-nosed people.
Yeah, he gets
Like-
mixed up with the other one.
Yeah, so like when there's another long-nosed character, then Luffy will be like, "Oh, it's Usopp," but it won't be Usopp at all. And then,
But if you're asking about something like, if they take away his nose, does he become weaker? Like, does it have any power to it? No, it has no power. They explained that the only reason he has a long nose is because his mom had a long nose, and that's what he inherited from her. But no, it has like no power to it. But Squall, I think you said he's weak. He kind of is. I think if everybody on the One Piece crew had like an arm wrestling contest, he would probably be second to last place. His whole fighting style is kind of like trickery. Like tricking people, like making them fall in traps or fighting something that's not supposed to be there. Almost kind of like a ninja, kind of. But yeah, he doesn't actually have like super raw strength.
Okay.
he's like a Batman. He needs time to prep.
Mhm.
You know.
There's a.
He- There is one part in the anime. There's one part in the anime where he fights against Luffy. He goes toe to toe with him, and while he doesn't win by any stretch of the means, he gives Luffy a run for his money strictly because of like all the tools in his belt. But yeah,
There is a couple things from the chat I wanted to bring up. Do you guys want to hear the funny one first or the serious one?
I guess let's hear the funny
Get the
one.
funny one
first.
out of the way.
All right. Big Rich from Twitch. He says Luffy can beat Goku, but in an eating contest.
Not even.
Who do you guys think?
I feel like they tie out. Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like they tie.
They would run the buffet out of food. That's for sure.
I actually think Luffy will beat him because
Oh,
Luffy
shit.
can expand. Luffy can expand.
True. Yeah.
Doesn't Luffy eat when he sleeps?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
like-
he can he'll fall asleep when he's eating and then just wake up and start eating again.
But there's a time where Luffy had to eat his way out of a situation, and he expanded, and he was so full, and then he actually made a new Gear 4 because he was like extra chonker. Yeah, that might actually.
Oh, that's right, against Cracker, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right.
He was super chonk, dude.
Yes, there's a character that can produce an infinite amount of crackers, like the cookie.
Yeah.
and Luffy can't beat him, so he eats all of the crackers. Like, he literally beats somebody who can make an infinite amount of food by eating it.
Well, that reminds me of Kids Next Door #2 versus Granny. Her name? What's her name? He's literally just Granny. Tag. She was feeding. She was fighting with like food and stuff. Food monsters and stuff.
Fuck, I know who you're talking about. Isn't it Grandma Stuffums?
Yes, that's
Yes.
her.
Mhm.
Reminds me of that exact thing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
For the
I'm
series?
going with Goku.
Yeah, just based off of what I've seen. Oh, go ahead, Pope.
No, you good, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna add to his point. Just based off of what I've seen, like I know Luffy likes to eat, but I haven't seen him eat like those montages where he's just like stuffing food down his face like Goku does in the anime. Of course, I haven't seen much from the live action.
Yeah, no, they don't show it much in the live action. Sticking with Goku.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Big Rich, eat it.
This was a serious one.
Okay, he said he was just kind of joking about this one as well, but he said, wait, Luffy's big reveal later, the secret final form sequential shift transmission. But he's making fun of the Gear 5 like names and stuff like that.
Sequential gear
No.
transmission. I
Shift
like it.
transmission.
He's a gear shift. I get it. I like it. I like it.
So, like, when Luffy's calling out the names of his attacks, it honestly feels weird for a live action.
It
And
really
I thought
does.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I keep remembering he's like, it's this one scene. It's like he pulls back, and all I hear is gum gum, and I look at him. He's like this full smile on his face, and I'm reminded of people when they're trying to turn super, like that one kid trying to turn Super Saiyan. It reminds me of that. Like,
You know what? I wanted to bring that up too. Like this whole like goofy, innocent, like persona that like a lot of main characters have in animes. It works in an anime, but for a live action, just doesn't feel authentic to me. Like Luffy, like Naruto, like anyone that kind of like enacts that, it looks just kind of off to me. What do you guys think?
I feel like it works better if we're talking about kids.
Mm.
We can accept that, but when you're like, what are they, like 18 plus? When you're around that age, I feel like it's just kind of, it's cringy. It's honestly cringy. Like if you even like you go to like let's say some cons or somebody, and you see somebody there, like when they're in cosplay, you're like, oh, they're cosplaying, so they're posing. But when they're outside of the cosplay, it's like it's so odd. It's so odd, and I'm not. I think it's what do they call it? Something about the hidden. It's not Hidden Valley, but there's like a. If I can remember the term.
I know what you're talking about. Oh, you're right about it being called Valley something.
It's kind of like one of those situations where something is and this is for the term, where something is so realistic that it feels unrealistic. That's what the term, and so it's kind of uncanny valley. Uncanny
yeah,
valley.
there you go. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like an uncanny valley whenever you see someone outside of a cosplay posing or trying to go Super Saiyan. And so I think that's what's happening there. But you kind of expect kids to do that. Like it makes sense for a kid to do it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That makes sense.
Just so at the beginning of the anime, Luffy is 17, and I think Zoro's actually the oldest at like 19.
Oh, what?
That's at the current stage where it's at right now. After a while, there's like a time skip, and like Zoro and Sanji become like 21 or something.
Mm. Yeah, that sucks because they all look like late 20s to me in the live action.
They couldn't find actual 17-year-olds, I guess.
That are good actors, at least.
Oh, and before we continue, I remember we were talking about the fact that Luffy has never been had bloodlust. There's only one time I remember, and that's when Ace dies. And I think that's the only time he's ever had a bloodlust state.
Yeah, I think you're
I
right.
don't think he was able to act on it.
Ace.
Yeah, I don't think he was able to act on it.
Was Ace in the live action, or is that like later?
Anime.
Oh, okay.
It's later.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Let's see. Big Rich has a couple comments. Yeah, just a couple dumb ones. One's not dumb. He said, "What do you guys think about Tower of God? If anyone's seen it."
Tower of
I
God?
read it, and I stopped. Man, I forgot where I stopped, but it's like it kind of feels like one of those anime where I've seen it before, and it's like, yeah, you can say that about like a lot of anime, but there's a kind of point where it's like whatever that loop was that was good for most other animes I've seen, it just didn't work for me after a while. A Guide of High School. I was
Yeah.
The only reason I stopped reading God of High School was because like it stopped, like they hadn't put out any more chapters at the time. That's the only reason I stopped God of High School. But Tower of God, it really feels like I've seen it before, and I think that's probably my biggest problem.
Have you guys seen Tower of God? Chewy stuff. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Like they came out with an anime on Crunchyroll. I think they just finished season 2. That one's good. And then the second question, or he's saying, tell them Suicide Squad Isekai, they stronger than Goku for real. They solo Goku. He's just trolling me, trying to say everyone's stronger than Goku, since I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan.
And Goku's
I gotta
truly
check
like
that
this.
in.
Goku is truly kind of like the Superman of like the anime world. Like, it's hard to beat him.
All right, back to One Piece. Let's see. All right, so I kind of wanted something like everyone can chime in on. Let's see. Let's go with something like easy. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on the live action? Like, we can start with. Let's go with Seven Ninja first, then we'll work our way around.
Someone overall.
Yeah, overall, what are your guys' thoughts about the live action?
I mean, I could watch it. I was certainly not prepared for like hour-plus long episodes, honestly. So it's kind of one of those things where I gotta like break it up. I think I'd watch it, but then again, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like they gotta catch up to like manga and anime, and I don't think I'd watch it that long.
All right.
Chewy?
Oh, well, I actually started with the live action and I watched the freaking anime because of it. So from November to June, I'm like not caught up, but now I'm slow rolling because I don't want to catch up. There's actually a meme where it's like when you first start, you're like, this anime's too long. And then through the middle of it, you're like, this is fire. And towards the end, you're like, this is too short. So yeah, since November, I've watched 1,100 freaking episodes. Dude, I'm kind of sad y'all haven't seen episode 8 because there's a part in episode 8 where I looked up the anime and then both the dub and sub version of a specific scene, and I was like, I'm watching this fucking anime. So I loved it. I thought it was really good, and I kind of knew a little bit about One Piece. Luffy was goofy, and I think they did it kind of going back to the whole goofy main character live action. I think they did it really well. He just kind of has like a lot of positive energy. Is kind of the switch they made as opposed to going with the more like goofy. He's still a little goofy, but I feel like he's way goofier in the anime. But yeah, I really like the live action. I'm ready for season 2, like Alabasta and all that. So. Yeah, I mess with it. I do recommend it for people out there.
Okay. Churro?
As much as I like the live action, I'm worried about it because I was thinking about this the other day actually. So Disney brought out She-Hulk, and apparently one of the biggest things about She-Hulk was constantly keeping CGI on her. That's why she was always regular person, not She-Hulk. And when it comes to One Piece, there are so many characters that they would have to CGI in that I'm scared about the quality of it. And I'm talking about like Brook, who is a skeleton. He's just a skeleton. You're gonna have to CGI that. Frankie, who's a robot, and then Chopper, who's literally a fucking little reindeer.
Yeah.
Like, if any of those characters are ever going to be on screen, they're going to have to get, like, a really big CGI budget, which I know it can happen. I know they can do it, but I'm scared it's going to be lacking because they're going to be like, well, we don't want to pay these CGI people millions of dollars to have this guy on screen for 10 seconds. So let's just put him in the background for now and never talk about him, even though he's super integral to this part of the story. And so that kind of, like, worries me, but I like the live action. I hope it keeps going, but I'm worried about the quality that's going to come from it.
Okay. Hope, what do you think about the live action? Thoughts about it?
I'm just gonna piggyback on the last statement, to be honest with you, because that kind of cements my feelings. I don't think it's gonna have longevity. There are just too many characters, too many scenes. Just from what I've seen, the little that I've seen. And I latched on to like at the end of Gear 4, beginning of Gear 5. So, and based off of what I've seen so far in the live action, the few episodes that I did see, I don't see longevity being a part of it. I see them rushing through it because they know they won't be able to produce what we have seen in the anime, what we read in the manga. it's good so far. It's probably one of the best live actions that I've seen. But sadly, I don't think it's gonna last too long, and I think it's gonna crash in the worst way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Squall, you gonna go? Because I have something to touch on those two.
No, go
I
for
can
it.
let you go first.
Go for it.
Okay. So I know they did a bunch of things for time because they cut down 45 episodes to 8 episodes. So they're probably still going to keep doing that. I mean, they deleted Dawn Krieg as a whole. I mean, it was a little segment. And then the Syrup Village was a whole battle, like a war almost. And then it was just kind of like, oh, it's Kuro and his 2 minions, as opposed to like the full pirate crew coming on. So they're going to have to get creative with it for sure to make it last so long. Like, it's just, you can't have these wars. Like, there's so many other wars that come on later, and it's just like, oh, how are they going to do that? So I definitely feel where you guys are coming from. And then on top of, like, the CGI, like, Hachi wasn't in the anime at all, or the live action at all, because it's an octopus guy, you can't really bring that dude in. And so, yeah, there are some concerns about later on, for sure.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, like, Hachi plays a super important role where it is one of the most watched scenes in One Piece, and he's part of it, and he doesn't even exist in the live action. And so it's like, I really want it to be good, because I love One Piece, one of my more favorite animes, and I want to see the more live action, but I just feel like it's going to be lacking in quality.
Okay.
You guys feel about the big eel?
The big eel? The one that took out Shanks' arm? I think he was fine. I for sure, like, in the anime and in the manga, Shanks' attack towards it felt so intimidating, and in the live action, his pupils dilated, and that's all you get. So you get no real impact from it.
Last question for me. This is for Churro and stuff. Is Shanks a hockey user or a swordsman?
Both. He is.
Okay.
He has been
I heard
said
that was
to
a
be.
debate.
He has been confirmed to have been called the world's greatest swordsman before he lost his arm, and now he is known as, I think, the world's greatest hockey user. So he is a swordsman and a hockey user. He's both.
Spoilers.
I mean, yeah.
I thought the live action was good. Like, definitely better than like a lot of other live actions. Like, it had like enough to keep me like, oh damn, what's happening? Oh, what's gonna happen next? Oh, episode ended. Damn it, it had enough to get me like that. So I think it was good. Not bad for sure. But it definitely makes me want to actually watch the anime for sure. All right, next question for the panel. Would you guys recommend it to like any of the viewers out there? And then we can start with Pope first this time.
Absolutely. Simply based off of the fact it's a live action adaptation, and why not? Based off of, if I have to go based off of whether I like it or its quality and performance, yeah, I would say it's still something I would recommend for people to watch. Whether you're an anime watcher or not, whether you even know about it, I'd say, yeah, go check it out. It's actually pretty good. It may get a lot of people to actually watch One Piece, the anime, and actually delve a little bit deeper into it. So yeah, I would.
Okay. Churro?
Absolutely. Like, yes, go watch it. I've heard so many people say that it had them like start watching the anime or read the manga or something like that, and it's yes, absolutely go watch it. Also, DT dubs. I'm a hamster, but look up Hamtaro. It's one of my more favorite childhood animes.
Chewy?
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, like I said, I binge watched freaking 1,100 episodes after watching that, and it's good. And I know 1,100 episodes is a lot to get over. So, hey, if that's how you consume it, that's how you consume it. It cut 45 episodes or well, yeah, 45, 30-minute episodes into 8, hour-long episodes or whatever. So, though, side note, they are redoing the anime, and they're supposed to cut down the whole series into like 300 episodes total. So that is coming soon. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how soon, but they're gonna do that. So, but yeah,
Interesting.
definitely watch live action.
7 Ninja.
I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, it's kind of one of those situations where it's like, if someone were to ask me, like, should we check out One Piece? I'd be like, I mean, check out the live action and see how you feel about it, and then go watch the anime or read the manga afterwards, because you're gonna get an idea of how you feel about something in 8 episodes versus 1,000. So, yeah, I'd tell me.
Let me do one ad read real quick, then I'll give my opinion.
Another ad read. Got another one.
The most complete graphic adaptation of the Bible ever done is now available from Kingstone Comics. Top comic artists have created a complete graphic novel available as a hardcover trilogy or as 6 softcover volumes. Find this and more at kingstonecomics.com. I think that's the last part of it. It's kind of cut off there. Alrighty. Would I recommend this? I think yes. Out of all the live actions, I can't recommend any single one of them. Like Death Note, garbage. Bleach was like, yo, what the hell is this? If you've seen the actual anime. Dragon Ball Evolution, hell no. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie, hell no. The live action episodic format, probably. One Piece definitely is like up there, like with the best of the live action. Let's see. Then Big Rich from Twitch wanted to ask you guys, where is it? Do y'all think Kid is dead?
Absolutely.
No, not there yet.
It's more of like how it gets there, but I think I'm the only one who's there, and absolutely, yes.
I have no idea who Kid is.
I'll leave that. Who did you say asked the question?
Yeah, he said, do y'all think Kid is dead? He said Shanks took out their whole crew, and Shanks can... Oh, what the... Bro, spoilers? I didn't know this.
Yeah, that's hella spoiler. That's literally, like, just happened right now.
I think I've seen this, and I think
that's
it's
Big Rich, though.
Big Rich, the spoiler, but yeah, he's dead. He's fucking dead. I hope we didn't have any kid lovers around here. He sucked. He was a dumb character. He deserved to die the second he stepped on the screen.
I heard Kid was like Luffy without the plot armor.
No.
That's what I heard recently.
They're in a tier called the Supernovas. Like, they're the new poppin' pirates. Like, they're kind of rookie pirates, essentially. So they're in that class together. But that's kind of really all they have in common.
Okay. Alright, I got one last question. Do you guys think the One Piece and live action is enough to get people into watching the anime more? 7 Ninja, we'll start with you.
I mean, I think I'm gonna put it like this. So you've got a giant wall, 1,000 episodes plus. I know I keep saying this, but it's important. It's very important. It's one of those situations where if you really enjoyed the live action, then I would say yes. But it all depends on that idea, because that wall is very big. And I mean, stop over here with 1,000 episodes down, but like, not everyone's willing to do that. Shoot, I know a guy that started like a year or something ago, but I know a guy that started. He's caught up now. Like, you can do it, but you gotta love it. So
Yeah.
that's me.
Okay. Stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just the wall of that. There were times during actually consuming the anime, where I was like, this is rough. This is kind of rough to get through. Was Long Ring, Long Island. Whew,
Oh
that
yeah,
shit. Rubbish. And it's funny because it's not filler. It's canon, but it's just like rubbish canon. Well, yeah, I mean, I think it will route people towards the anime, whether they finish it or not. That's up to them. But I do think if they get that shortened anime out, then that'll for sure, route a lot of people to that. Like, especially if it's done by Netflix, so they'll have Oda's respect behind them. But if that wall is too big, I would suggest One Piece. They cut out a lot of filler, and filler as in like, if Luffy throws an attack, it'll show the reactions of 6 different people, like for 5 seconds each. In One Piece, it'll be like just quicker, so it cuts down on those kind of filler things. So yeah, if that wall is an issue, then One Piece would be the thing. But I do think I'm an example of the live action routing people to watch One Piece. So
Okay. Churro?
I will always say yes. Anything to get more people to watch One Piece. It is, like I said, it's one of my more favorite animes. I love it, and yes, go watch the live action. And if it inspires you to read it or watch it, go for it.
Pope? Pope?
Did you ask for it?
Yeah. Well, what was? Do you think the live action is enough to get get viewers into watching the anime more?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I felt so. I think that's what it was. I kind of said that in the last response to I think it was the last question, but yeah, absolutely. If you didn't really watch the anime, and I think you watched that, especially that live action, which you pointed out actually was kind of the best out of all of them that's been out so far. I think it would be enough to investigate and research, and those that like reading, they probably pick up the manga, and those that enjoy the more visual aspects of it will probably research the anime. I think sometimes in the beginning, like, what's it, 1,100 episodes? Yeah, that's a little overwhelming. That's a little overwhelming sometimes. I think like someone who's not really an anime lover probably would be like, holy shit. They probably skip forward to the Gear 5.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it'd be good enough. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got. Anyone got anything else they want to bring up about One Piece?
I didn't know Bleach had a live action.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Is it rubbish?
Yeah, just extinct it from your mind.
Yeah.
Don't even.
Mind wipe.
It's no bueno.
When are we getting the Naruto one? Sorry to see Dragon Ball. We're not going to talk about that. But when are we going to get the Naruto live action?
God, I'm always scared of live actions. To be honest.
They need to give DBZ another shot.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
They need to give it another shot.
Speaking of Naruto, they're actually bringing out new Naruto content, like actual Naruto. The IDW comics are going to do Naruto meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I heard about that.
Yep.
Yeah, especially with like One Piece's success, I do hope to see like more close to the source material live actions, and I feel like they'll do well. Especially, I mean, shoot, they don't have to worry about like anyone besides like Kisame or somebody with like a weird body. So they should just be able to put people and just throw out like visual effects.
Okay. Well, if no one has any other things, I guess we did already give final thoughts on the live action. All right. Well, now we can go into the gaming segment. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna play the video.
Fight for the lights of the first glow.
All right, so this one is my topic. I came up with the game Super Smash Bros. I feel like that's like an easy one that everyone should know about. So we'll start light, and then we'll work our way into the deeper questions. Super Smash Bros. How was it for you? What do you think about it? Do you like it, hate it, and all that good stuff? I think we started with Seven Ninja first, so Pope, we'll start with you first.
Love Super Smash. Love it. Actually, was one of the reasons why I got into multiverse. Yeah, this is copy of it. But Super Smash Brothers was original. Yeah, you can't ever hate on the original. We've all played the original. We've all gotten pissed off at our friends for beating shit out of us. We've all gotten into fights. You know, it's just one of those games. It's one of those brawl games that brought families together. There was a lot of times hang out after dinner time. You know, take your frustration out on your sibling or your parent. But it was definitely fire. Yeah, loved it. Absolutely.
Churro?
You know, I really like Super Smash Brothers. Well, let me put it like this: I like Super Smash Brothers as a party game. I'm the hater who says that they're not fighting games, but I love them as party games. I love getting together with friends and playing it and stuff like that. But man, I love seeing competitive Super Smash Brothers because that is like the one game where rage like really comes out in the competitive tournament. So many broken controllers in it. But overall, I like it. It's a fun party game, but I don't think it's a fighting game.
Do you watch current Smash or do you watch Melee?
I watch both. So I'm very much more familiar with Melee. It is the one that I
Oh shit.
also watch current Smash as well.
My bad.
Good. That's gotta be my opinion.
Okay, my bad. I'm looking up Raphael to get on details. What do you call it? Oh, it's party game specific. It's an amazing party game. I remember one time when I was walking home from school, we heard a bunch of dudes just like yelling and screaming at each other, and then me and the homie were like, they're playing fucking Smash Brothers. Like, we could just already tell that vibe because they were like, get him, all that. From the casualness, you could have the item drops and stuff like that, like super fun. Bunch of different variety in the gameplay as well. But then I disagree on it's not a fighting game because when I moved in to Huntington Beach house, I was with some hardcore like Smash folk, and we got sweaty in there. It was only 1v1s. It was no items. Final destination most of the time, and man, it turned into like a chess game. And that's kind of why I like Rocket League a lot, because you brush up your skills, but it's not just skills that go into it. It's what you do with that bag that you have at your hand. So like the fakes and just the mind games. The mind games get so crazy in there. And I actually haven't watched too much competitive Smash, but I just, I like to get sweaty at things. So it's a super rad game competitively and party.
All right, Seven Ninja.
Well, so I've enjoyed Smash a lot. I think it's really impacted the world, but we've got a lot of Smash clones out there with their own unique styles. But I guess I really enjoy it. I think what really sold me on Smash was kind of like moments where I'm just with like a group of people and we're just like going at it. Turn the items off. I know one group we had like only the final Smash Ball on, but like turn the items off and let's go at it. Let's see what happens. And it's like every time I get in a situation like that, it's just like that's when I'm having the most fun with Smash. I mean, I'm sure I could hop on now, but like in general, that vibe of seeing like the local games. So this is like the reason I'm saying all this is because like I used to like watch like the Tekken tournaments like all the time and like Evo and stuff like that. And so like during this time when Tekken wasn't on, I was watching Smash, and it's like it's so enjoyable to see like the uproar, the amazement, the feel of the tournament locations, even though I wasn't at all of them, you know. So yeah, I do enjoy Smash.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I really do love the game. Shoot, the first one that came out like in the 90s or early 2000s, I can't remember, on Nintendo 64. Like Pokemon was really big back then, and like the first thing I noticed was like, oh, they got Pokemon characters in here. I'm instantly in love. Like Pikachu was the shit. Just spam the shit out of Pikachu. And then later you grow up and it's on GameCube as well, and they like one of the best sequels in my like I think of. Like everyone still nowadays says that GameCube version was the best, like the physics, all that good stuff. Like it was the best one, and like I kind of agree with that. It's got all the meta, like the crazy shit you can do with the dodging and everything. It like I do see what your point, Churro, about like party game, but I also see it as like a fighting game as well. Like people can play it competitively one-on-one. Like I was like, there's like a ranking system in the future ones in the Nintendo Switch, the 2DS, 3DS. You can like rank up in it and get like elite status and fight like tougher people and shit like that. I got to that and I played one match, and like it was the most sweatiest match in my life. Like I was like, what the hell is elite match? And like I played this guy and he kills me first, and I'm like, dude, oh hell no. I got pissed off. And then like I ended up winning that game, but it was like the most like chess matchy like hard game I ever played. So I was like, dude, I'm never touching elite again, bro. Fuck this shit. So there is like a level of competitiveness in there. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got on it. I guess now we could talk about the characters. Top 5 characters you guys like in the game. We'll start with Seven Ninja.
Sonic, Greninja, Pikachu. I did play Link for a little bit. I'm talking about old Link, not young Link or Toon. Old Link. Fitness trainer. And I think that's number 4. And what's his name? The guy from Punch Out.
Little Mac.
Oh, Little Mac.
Little Mac. Yes.
And then
Little Mac.
let's go with top 5 characters and why. What do you like about them?
Okay. Well, Sonic is like one of my favorite. Like, he's what got me into gaming. Pikachu, Pokemon, you know, Ash Ketchum, Little Mac. It's just something about seeing a boxer in a game like that, truth be told. What else did I mention? I completely forgot. I ain't gonna lie.
Wii Fit Trainer.
Wii Fit Trainer. A Wii Fit Trainer. Like it's kind of like the boxer situation. Like, what are you doing there? And I had one more. Crap, where'd it go?
I think you said Link.
You know what? I'll say
Link, yeah.
Link is just he had that like up smash ability. He's just spinning around, and like that's what it really attracted me originally.
The helicopter, yes.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Okay.
Alrighty, Chewy.
So, are we talking like his favorite, or like what do I like to use? Because I mean, that might be a little different.
What do you like to use? Like,
Okay. So, Little Mac, because he's a boxer. Why is he there? His recovery's garbage. But yo, if you let me get close to you, I'm gonna bop you. I'm gonna bop you off the stage. So, don't sleep on Little Mac. I love Ganondorf and King Dedede as well. Just heavies, you know, heavy boys. They're hard to hit. Also, like, don't get close with Ganondorf. His freaking sword is so long and crazy, and you know, a villain from the Zelda series. Like, it's pretty dope. And then he has the he's a slow Captain Falcon, pretty much.
Mhm.
So
That's literally it.
yeah, right. With the sword, like he's just super dope. But then King DDD, he's a little cheap, low key, but that's kind of why I like to use him because he has a counter. So man, I pissed my roommates off with that bloody counter, dude. Just hit him the belly, and then whatever projectile or whatever punch coming right back at you. And then opposite of the heavies, I love Pichu actually, not Pikachu, but Pichu.
Oh, why?
Just super powerful and super quick, and also kind of hard to hit. They had I know they hurt themselves when they do any of the electricity, but it's just if you let me get close, that's it. I'm gonna mess you up. I'm gonna combo your shit and you're off the stage. And then my last one, I think I have a lot of controversial people. I like playing the cheap characters, so Minecraft Steve. Yeah, Minecraft Steve.
Oh man.
He's I mean, these are all from Ultimate, so this is all the Switch version for the most part. But yeah, he's super controversial. Well, I mean, in my roommate's eyes, he was controversial, but he's pretty technical. Like, he had a lot of crazy things you could do and combo off of, and you kind of had to get creative, just like real Minecraft. So, but his little the up magma, it's his like up attack, and this magma would grab. Its hitbox was ridiculous, so I think that's why my roommates didn't like him. But he was so fun to play, and then he had a minecart. It's a thrown grab. So he throws the minecart and it'll grab you and then it'll launch you off the stage.
Oh,
it won't kill you, but it'll let me set up to kill you. Like, it was disgusting. So yeah, Minecraft Steve.
Oh shit. Yeah, I do remember hating playing against King DDDs online. Who was your fourth character again? The one before that?
Pichu.
Pichu. Oh yeah, they buffed Pichu a lot in Ultimate, I believe. Like Pichu
really?
was like lowest tier up in like the first games he was introduced, and then like in Ultimate he became like top tier.
Yeah, he was pretty fire.
All right, Churro.
First of all, I just want to call out DT Dubs. You're thinking about Ness. Ness is the PK Fire kid.
Yeah.
But for me, my favorite character, my most used since Smash 1 has been Yoshi, and I love Yoshi. And I remember I started playing him specifically because everybody told me that he was the worst character, and I said, "Nah, I'll fucking show you." And yeah, Yoshi has always had like one of the same combo pretty much throughout all of them. When you jump and do his down smash, it's just a rapid kick, and then you can do an up smash, and it just deals a bunch of damage with the rapid kick, and then up smash usually comes with a good kill. But so Yoshi has always been my main. My second favorite has always been Peach. I just like Peach. She's my favorite Mario character. It's Peach. And then Link has been the one that I also play as well the most. Adult Link or regular Link, not Toon Link or Young Link, just regular Link. Also, same thing since like the first one. I just like playing with him. The Belmonts, fuck, why can't I remember? I prefer playing as Simon Belmont. I know Richter is technically better because his down B sets up a small wall, and Simon's just sets them on fire, if I remember. But I prefer playing as Simon Belmont over Richter, just because Simon is a man's man. And finally, Terry, because Terry comes from a real fighting game, and he is fucking cool. Now, I know Ryu and Ken are also in there, and I love them. They have a special place in my heart. But in Smash, I like Terry more, just because he looks so cool. He looks so good in Smash.
Side note, that damn "Are you okay?" attack. Man, I got PTSD from that shit, bro.
Yeah.
My roommate would spam that, man. Oof.
Oh, I love it.
How'd you guys feel about Calvia?
Who? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Ovia?
Kazuya from Tekken.
Oh.
I like him. I like him being in the game just because I like seeing a lot of these fighting game characters in the game, and because they have to update their models to be in it, they just look so good. But I've never actually played him, so I don't know much about him.
Yeah.
I like the idea that like they added him in there, and it's like they put his whole move set in there. And
Yep.
so it's like, if they can do that, it pretty much shows you like what's the realm of possibility. So I'm a big fan of that.
Yep. Ryu and Ken kind of the same thing. If you do their side B, the Hadoken, it's just a regular Hadoken. If you actually do the Hadoken input, quarter circle forward, you get a stronger hitting Hadoken. Yeah. That's a fun little fact there too. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I did not.
Yes.
Pope?
I think you can do that with all of them too. All of their special moves.
Oh shit, that's good to know. Actually, Pope.
Yeah, listen, it's not gonna be that in depth. It's not gonna be that long. I can't give you 5. I give you 1, and he's strong. That's my boy Ike. Okay.
Oh, Ike is good. Yeah.
Like Fire Emblem?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
He was
Yeah,
strong
I'm
as
on Ike.
shit when first introduced.
Yes, I don't know what's happened because I haven't really played recently. I'm not gonna lie, but when I did start playing, that was the first and only character that I ever picked up. I never used anyone else. All I know is that I got wins with him and I lost with him, and that's my boy Ike. That's it. Love them, still love him, and I'll still use him. Don't care
Does,
what they've done to him.
Does Ike have the one where he dashes across the field to swipe?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's
If you hold it
Did I
long
get the
enough.
Fire Emblem?
There's a couple of them in the Fire Emblem. I believe when I first started playing, it was Ike and Mark.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a bunch more now. I'm not familiar with
Yep, they got a bunch more.
I know my boy Ike, and he was serious. He used to send people right the fuck home. That was it. Send them straight to the upper room. That's all I needed.
Of all the Fire Emblem characters, I think I played as Roy the most. He's the one he's the big tanky hard hitter, I think, and I like Roy.
Yeah, the fire sword.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he have a one-shot kill if you do it right?
Yeah, if you hold
Yeah.
down that B button long enough, and then once it launches that explosion, and if it hits, it's one hit kill.
One hit.
Yeah, like break shields and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that was Marth. He was the shield breaker.
Oh, Martin's shield.
Yeah, like Marth and Roy were the same. If you held down the B button for Marth, it breaks the shield. Even if you just like tap it and they're shielding, it does like half their shield or like more or something like that.
Oh, okay.
For me, like my top 5, Samus #1. Like I like quick but strong characters. So like if you charge down I know Samus is not actually quick per se, but if you charge down that big ball, you once you press it, once it's fully charged, you can hold it and save it for like the right time. It just launches out immediately when they're not expecting it. You can even bait them into like running into it. Like for me, like I used to like just like have it on me, beat their ass a little bit, and then they're expecting me to like charge straight at them from the ground, but I'll jump. They usually jump with me, and like I'll jump and blast it, and then they jump and it hits them, like they run into it. So that was my top character. Second, I want to say Ganondorf. I know Ganondorf is also slow, but when you are up close, like his little Sparta kick is just instant, and like it knocks them back far. Like he has a bunch of quick but powerful moves that are really good to use. And then I like using Cloud. Cloud's just like someone who is new, like in the 4th one on the 2DS. Like he's decent. Like I have like some cheap tactics with him. Like I'll bait people into charging in at me by like charging up my special, and like as they're charging in at me from like afar, I'll cancel the special and start attacking them, or cancel the charge up and start attacking them. Let's see. And then I like using Marth. Marth was really cool. Like he was my favorite like in Melee days, because like I would just like spam the shit out of like his side smash, because it was just quick and powerful, and if you hit them at the tip of the blade back then, it would just like add extra damage and extra knockback. And then the last one, I'm like stuck between Fox and Sheik. I'm gonna go with, they nerfed both, and the later one's really bad. Kind of sucks. But I'll probably choose Sheik, because like Sheik I still am somewhat decent with over Fox in like the later ones. Just because, like, back in the Melee days, quick and strong. Like, Sheik was pretty hard to beat. Let's see. Let's see what the chat says. I know DT Dub had a question for us and Big Rich. Do you guys do tournaments or challenges with each other in Smash? I don't do tournaments. I just kind of just play online just for the fun of it. How do you guys usually play the game? Do you guys play online, play with friends? Do you guys have the game?
I've always played with friends, although funny enough, I did used to be, or I still know the guy. He just stopped playing Smash for a long time. His name's Ark. He was the #1 Texas Smash player, and he played with Marth. So I went to tournaments with him just because I was his buddy. But no, I've never actually like played in a tournament.
Oh shit! Actually, speak about that. Like, how was like the tournament like vibe? Was it like intense? Was it like a lot of anger?
Imagine walking into like a gym where nobody ever takes a shower, like that. That's exactly.
That's crazy.
That's funny. Squid Central.
It's really funny because like the mood changes so drastically. When you first walk in, it's like everybody's friends. Like, oh man, what's up? Oh, good to see you again. Oh man, I hope you do well. And then the second they lose, if they think that they lose because of a cheap shot or something, it's over. That motherfucker's never gonna be in a good mood. Don't even look his way.
Oh.
It switches so drastically. And it's one of the reasons why I kind of don't like it as like a competitive game, because it feels like they don't take it like a competitive game. From being in like that kind of scene, I've gone to more Street Fighter tournaments, and like if somebody loses there, they're just like, "Oh man, you beat me, good game." You know, they shake hands. Sometimes there's a little bit of shit talking going on here or there, but at the end of the day, people still walk out as friends. Or maybe as like competitors, but something like that. In Smash, if you fuck somebody over because they think you did something cheap, they're never gonna respect you. Never. They will never look at you the same. They'll hate your channel. They'll try and end your life for no fucking reason just because you cheated them out of a stock. And that was always the feeling I got, and I hated it.
Yeah, they're the weird ones.
Yep. They really are.
Man, stop talking shit about me, damn. Let's see. All right, Seven Ninja. Like how do you play? Do you usually play it online, tournaments with friends?
It's one of those things where it's just like if I happen to be in an area where like a group is playing, I'll hop in there. But it's not something I'm always on.
Okay. Stuff Central.
So when I got into Ultimate, I went freaking hard. We would actually play it at work. So we developed a system of we called it the gauntlet. So like how it would go, like say Squall was winning, then he'd have to beat me, Churro, Pope, and then Ninja. And then once he beat everyone, he'd be like, "All right, Squall, you gotta get off the sticks. You're too sweaty." And then so it would kind of rotate like that. So not quite a tournament. That's all couch co-op playing right there. So. And that's how I played. But I mean, just because it was on the couch or in the garage, we still got sweaty on it. So
nice.
That's how I vibe.
Churro, I think you gave your answer, but if you wanted to answer again, up to you.
No. For me, it's I take it very casually. It's casual for me, just with friends. We don't even get too sweaty. We keep items on any stage kind of thing. No 1v1s.
Pope.
So super casual.
Did play, it was all for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way and then honestly, I'm not that good. and so I'm not going to a tournament and getting wrecked. It's not happening.
Let's see.
Okay.
For me, I played it just mainly online. I didn't go into any tournaments. Of course, if any friends were around, I'm like, oh yeah, let me beat some ass real quick. If I went to anyone's house and they were playing it, oh dude, they don't know what's coming. I'm about to Give him that 1-2 real quick. Seven Ninja, I think you were gonna say something.
Okay, guys. Favorites victory theme.
Favorite victory theme?
Yes.
100% Mega Man. Of all the characters.
Fire Emblem Roy.
I can't really remember any of them off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
off the top of my head, I'm thinking I like the Earthbound victory theme.
I like Cloud. That one's so iconic. It's the Final Fantasy theme.
Yeah. That was
It's
good.
just fire.
Churro Pope.
Honestly, when I'm thinking about it, it is just the one that comes to my mind. It's crazy, because I don't even remember Ike's, but I think it's Falco. It's one of them, either Falco or Fox, where he his ship flies in and he does a backflip or some shit on top of it. I think that's it. That's the one that comes to my mind. Like I told you guys, I haven't played that game in a long time, but when I did, yeah.
But I said Mega Man. I always love Mega Man's theme.
Favorite boss. Arcade adventure boss. Which one?
Wait, favorite boss?
Favorite boss.
The only one I could
It
think
could
of.
be the arcade or the adventure one.
I only remember the hands and the Ridley from Samus boss from the Wii version. I did like that fight when you fought that black dragon from Samus in the Wii version. That one was pretty intense, pretty cool.
Purely because of nostalgia. It's for me the N64 giant hand at the end boss. That's the one that I remember the most. Strictly because of nostalgia, I played it the most. It was the most fun to me.
I haven't actually played much of the story mode, so the only one I really know of is the hand. So yeah, that'll probably be my answer as well.
So you just play just to beat your friend's ass, huh?
Pretty much, yeah, or get my ass beat. Yeah, one or the other.
Pope.
Same thing. I didn't play the story, but I was just trying to fight. Talking about it, there's different enemies. Wait, what? Bosses? What?
Yeah.
I thought we were just fighting. I have no.
Nah, you're
I
good.
do remember the platforming courses were fun though. When in that very first story mode or whatever. But yeah, it was timed, and then you gotta get away from the lasers or the little bumper things, and those are always awesome.
Okay.
So, for me, I have to say, the final boss of Brawl, it's some kind of you're basically facing a god, and it's I think his name's called Taboo. It feels like you gotta point dodge constantly, because he's got an attack that takes over the full platform. It's and the platform is basically Final Destination, and so it's you've got nothing to hide behind, and literally you have to point dodge when he's about to strike multiple times, and he's pretty much just hitting you with basically god powers the whole time. So
Okay.
All right.
I completely forgot about Taboo.
I'm gonna do an ad read real quick, and then we'll continue on. It's time to say goodbye to Starbucks and say hello to Rumble's 1775 coffee. Unlike other brands, this is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. Visit 1775coffee.com, use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off. The coffee comes in medium and dark roast. It also comes in peaberry, which is similar to Kona coffee. In other words, this stuff is premium. Click the link in the live chat or the description. You can also go directly to 1775coffee.com and use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off today. Alright, Big Rich had a question for us. Do you guys like to spam the Pokeballs?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah, 100%. Got to. I have a question for us too. Whenever.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Well, actually, now that kind of brings up. I have another question with that, with the one that Rich had. But what was y'all's favorite map? Like, yeah, just y'all remember any funny ass maps?
Oh fuck. The one that I always liked, I forget. Let me look it up real quick.
I'm thinking of the one where like you're basically seeing like the Captain Falcon's like it's coming on Captain Falcon's maps. Where I think it's got Big City Blue or something where you like they got this road under them that's constantly moving.
Mhm.
I would like go on Sonic and just like run down the road as fast as I can. It was one of the funnest things to do.
That
It was
sounds
Sonic
Like trying to
lit.
see which character was fast enough. Yeah.
I didn't know you could
it-
do that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Crazy. Freaking Sonic.
My favorite was Fountain of Dreams. Like the dark Kirby place with all the crazy lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing specific about it. Like I don't know. I just thought the lights were cool and like the sound, the music track was dope.
Yeah, that was a cool map. I think I remember that one. Yeah.
So I can't remember the name of it, but the two that I really loved are from the original Super Smash Brothers, and it was Link's stage. I think it was called Hyrule Castle.
Mm.
Is that the big one?
Yeah, so the big one where you could jump to the top of the tower, and then there were also two small platforms on the side.
Yes.
And then the Pokemon one where there was Pokemon that would pop up from the middle randomly. I think it was called Cerulean City. I think that's what it was called. But those two from the original 64 were my favorite. I think those two actually came back in Super in the latest one. I don't remember that. But yeah.
Poe King, do you remember any of the maps?
Nope.
No worries.
All right. I got one for you.
Wait. I don't think Stuff you gave yours.
No, I didn't. I put a link in your chat. That's Temple. That's kind of the smoke map, like.
Oh yes.
The party smoke map, but Cerulean City is another one with the whole surprising Pokemon coming at you.
Mhm.
But I know I'm giving a few here, but and then what was the one where you're on the Star Fox ship, and then every once in a while a Star Fox ship will come and blast you guys, and
Isn't that
That
Sector
was-
Z? No, that's not.
Cool. I remember that one.
yeah, those it was just, I don't know, you're just on a funky little stage, and then every once in a while something will happen. So yeah, that was another good one.
Okay. Let's see. I think Seven Ninja had a couple videos for us to watch. Let me pull them up. Pause the music. Alright, I'm gonna share my screen real quick.
Oh, I forgot there's that chat in Discord. That's fine.
Where'd it go? Alright. Let's see.
You just got up smash. And now, oh, so of course we do. Happy feet, wombo combo. That ain't Falco. That ain't Falco.
That feels. I felt bad for that person.
Oh my God! Wombo combo. Get your ass whooped.
Let's watch that one more time.
Just got up smash. And now, oh, so of
The
course we
poor
do.
fox.
Happy
He just
feet,
wanted to
wombo
live.
combo. That ain't Falco.
I'd be so heated if that happened to me.
No way.
Talking hella shit.
Holy shit. But I mean, what they did was just disrespect.
Yep.
Like the disrespect. I'd actually stop playing.
I would too.
Just a light uninstall.
Man, for real. But I mean, you can uninstall, but you can't take that off the internet.
Can't uninstall that from your memories, man.
Man,
I mean, I only know that because of that meme, the Wild Bell combo. Like that's in the MLG memeage. That's when I first like experienced that clip.
All right. He also has 7 Ninja put in one
You do need
more.
that edge guard, and I think you should take me serious.
Shit. Share screen.
I've seen this one.
Where'd it go? All right.
Still see it.
You do need that edge guard, and I think you should take me seriously. Because look at the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, I got numbers on the.
Oh,
God.
Joe, did he just walk up slowly and down smash?
He did. He really did though.
Oh,
Hey, I missed that.
yo, man, what?
He just
you do need that edge guard, and I
walks
think you
up
should take
to
me
him.
seriously. Because look at the scoreboard.
Look, right here.
Yeah.
Just
I got
doop,
numbers
doop,
on
boom.
Joe, did he just walk up slowly?
One last
That's
time.
that mind game.
Yeah, I got
Because-
numbers on
Mind game shit, dude.
Yeah.
Joe, did he just
So the
walk
reason
up
that's so
slowly
impressive,
and
or
down
just
smash?
so uncommon, is because in Smash, especially in Melee, and I think in the newest one too, it's like people can't fucking hold still. Like, even if they're by themselves on the map, they'll go to the middle and, like, dash back and forward. It's like they can't hold their hands steady. And so to just see somebody calmly walk up to their opponent and down smash, it's just, you don't see that.
Nah, that makes sense. Cause like the whole, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this before, but like, you know, that moving around a lot and like jumping up and down, trying to like confuse your opponent, that's called mix-ups. And then there's like something called no mix-ups, where you stand completely still. And like, and when you do it out of nowhere, it just like throws the other person off. Like they're still moving all around, but like, what the fuck? And then like you can like kind of psych people out doing that type of shit.
Yeah, it's like a faking or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Gnarly. But yeah, I have my old roommate. He was one of those twitchy, just always jumping, always wave dashing, just all that. And then I just walk up and slap him with Ganondorf's sword and we'll see you later, bud.
Stuff. Did you? I think you said you were gonna send something. I don't know where you sent it to.
I had another question. I sent you the temple stage, but I think you already found it on your own.
Oh, okay.
Earlier. But I did have another question that spawned off of the Pokemon thing. What's y'all's favorite Pokemon in Smash Brothers?
Like to use?
To throw the ball and then it pops up.
Oh.
Nothing better. Nothing better than a Magikarp.
You mean Goldeen?
Right.
Nah, that's Goldeen in Super Smash.
That's right, it changes to Goldeen. Nothing better than Magikarp and Goldeen.
Yeah, right.
Wobbuffet.
Oh yeah, I remember Boba Fett. Let me think about this real quick. There was some cool ones. It was always like, oh dude, it's finally a Pokeball. This is gonna be lit. One thing I hella hated fighting against was when like a Meowth showed up out of the Pokeballs, and you can't get near it because it just spams the coins at you.
Mm-hmm. That was annoying.
Oh, Big Rich brought up the Pokemon who stops time. I think that's Dialga.
Oh snap! That is one, isn't it? Yeah, right.
Pope King, do you remember any of the Pokemon that came out?
Not really.
It's all good. All right.
Entei was crazy. The fire dog.
Oh,
He
that's
would kinda
right.
just light the damn stage ablaze. Like,
Arcanine, yeah.
yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about the legendary one.
Yeah, Entei. He looked like
Oh,
Arcanine.
Entei.
Yeah,
Okay.
Entei. Yeah, and then special shout out to Snorlax who would just come down and wipe the whole.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
I
Oh
do
my
remember
god.
That I do remember, and I should have said that one.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that. Yeah. He just come down and wipe half the stage. If he got it right, it'd be the whole fucking stage.
and he'd always aim for you too. If you're on the left side of the stage, he'd take out like half the left side of the stage.
Get you.
All right. Well, I don't really have any more
Okay.
questions, but 7 Ninja, you got something?
All right. So, what is your favorite Smash Bros. Games? I will start off though. So my favorite Smash Bros. Game has to be Brawl, and it's just because of how many cinematics were inside of that thing's story. I'm talking about like I felt like I understood their whole world based on like Smash Bros. Whole adventure mode. Like it was amazing. It was amazing.
Definitely agree with you on that point. For me, Melee will always be the best because just the physics of it, like so much meta in it. Like they came out with like mods for like future games to try to replicate Melee's physics. Just because like that's just like the GOAT physics. I'd have to say like Ultimate is probably next just because like the online competitive mode on it. You can like fight other people's. They give you a ranking if you're good enough, like an elite ranking. I think it's like kind of broken. Like Samus, I got through legit. Like I think I was good with enough with Samus to get there. But then like I haven't played for a while, like months, maybe a year, and then I hopped back on Ultimate, and then like all of a sudden I got Ultimate or Elite with like a few other characters I never touched. Like it got that ranking just from like never losing apparently. And I was like, that's kind of broken. Yeah, those are my top two.
Original 64 will always be my pick.
Heck yeah.
I don't think like I get that maybe there's a lot more characters than other ones. There's there's better stages, better physics, more combo opportunities, but the original 64, there's just that's what started it, and I think it's the best one.
That's
Mm-hmm.
I got on the Wii with it too as well. I sort of
Okay.
like those.
Yeah.
Not 64 is not my favorite, but there was that the mysteriousness of unlocking Luigi and the other few that you did unlock because that was the first game you didn't know. The internet wasn't really a thing back then, so that was like, what is going on? Who's this new player? Like, what the heck? So I do remember that being a big thing about it. But I like Ultimate. It kind of has more of a Melee feel than was it the Wii U version or whatever. And then it's got all the freaking characters. It's got even more than all the freaking characters. Got Minecraft Steve up in that bitch, dude. Like, yeah, that shit went hard. And then I didn't even play it online because I never got Nintendo online. But yeah, it's just couch co-op solo. Yeah, Ultimate was fire.
Whatever happened to the Wii U version? I remember like people weren't too happy about it at all, but it wasn't like the worst. It just wasn't that good either. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like Multiverses, where it's a little more like floaty with the physics. But I mean, I don't know. That's kind of I don't really know what happened to it. I just kind of got the feeling I can't really tell why I wasn't like the biggest fan of that one specifically.
I don't know. I thought that like the Wii U version was like kind of like no one really liked the Wii U, so they kind of just try to hurry up and kill that one off and bring out the Nintendo Switch.
The controls were garbage.
I played that fourth generation one for the 2DS, so I think it was a little bit better in my experience. Alrighty. Well, if we got nothing else for that, we can switch to the last segment. Let's see. The pondering segment. Give me 1 sec. Playing a little video here.
You gotta add. We gotta do.
I don't have an ad yet. But yeah. All right. Seven Ninja, this is your questions, your time to shine. Go ahead and take the floor.
So, really, here's the idea. So, when do you guys feel that telling someone the exposition is a good idea? There's a phrase called "show don't tell." I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. And I guess the best way to describe what each one would be like. So telling would be the equivalent of like whenever you're watching a shonen and you see someone with a power, but like you see like a side character like explain it, like how it works or something like that. And where I see telling would be really important is going to be like someone creates a black hole, but it's like a black hole. It's not an actual black hole, but it's like one. And so like the feed is kind of a different kind of feat at that point. Versus showing might be like let's say someone was like trying to like tell you like the legends of someone and like how great they are, but then like showing what that would be is like, let's say you're a party, let's say you're a group of adventurers and you're like a party fighting a dragon, and then you see like this guy in the distance in a cutscene, he takes on like 4 or 5 dragons at one time, and this is showing off his raw power, and he's like killing them instantly, like no problem. So that's where I see showing as. Another way of saying showing would be like where you're describing something. In a book, it might be describing the taste, the feel. And inside of a media or inside of a video or something like that, you might be describing. You might be showing the scene. Like if someone has some thoughts, you show the scene through their actions, their emotions, the way that they convey it, but they don't tell you what they're thinking. They're showing you how they feel through their actions and their emotions. So when do you guys think telling is a good idea?
Showing versus telling. Which one's a good idea? I think there's always like a good mixture of both. Like if they could find that balance between the two, that would be the best, in my opinion at least. Cause like when you tell too much, it sounds kind of like forced in some way, shape, or form. Like sometimes it's like actually awkward to do show versus telling, or like telling. Like let's say, like there was a part in the Bleach anime, right? Like when the captains were first introduced, they said something like one of the captains said, "Us at the captain level can sense this type of energy." When it's just like you don't need to like say that, you don't need to explain that. That's kind of like random. Like if one of you guys were to say anything like about an anime, like I wouldn't come out and be like, well, us at this podcast will always know about this type of anime. You know, it just doesn't sound natural. It's like random to throw that out there. Like so in situations like those, introductions are kind of weird. Like let's see, like I know Dragon Ball Z doesn't really do any telling at all. It does straight up showing. Like out of nowhere, Goku learns a Kamehameha and it doesn't explain it. And it doesn't even explain what the Kamehameha is. It does a little bit of telling here or there, like Vegeta, but more in the manga, not really the anime. Like Vegeta explains when he first turned Super Saiyan, he said he told like everybody like, yeah, I noticed when I'm in the Super Saiyan form, like I feel more ferocious, I have more ferocity. Like it didn't really explain, but like in the anime, but like they have like more of an anger side when they're Super Saiyan. Like me, I never really noticed that when I watched it as a kid, but like when I delved deeper into it and looked up more shit, like a lot of people kind of confirmed this type of stuff. Yeah, that's my take on the showing versus telling and when not to do telling. Like I know like you can do too much and explain too much all the time, and that can be kind of annoying. So it's more beneficial to keep it up to mystery and just like do a little bit more showing sometimes. What do you guys think? That's my take on it.
I would personally say that it's always better to show, not to tell. Right now, there are times when it's like there is something to be explained, and referring back to like, I think it would be best to like back to One Piece kind of thing. When you want to tell something about the world that they live in that the main character will then later experience, I believe that's a good thing. In One Piece, for example, the whole thing got kicked off because Gold Roger said, I left all my treasure in One Piece, or it's out there to find, you know. He was telling about the world that we are later going to experience, right? But throughout most of the anime, you learn more about the world as the characters experience it. Like for like one big thing about like show versus tell right now, it's again in One Piece, a character is literally on the in the current manga, a character is literally just in the background telling the audience and the world what happened to the world. So you're learning about it by this character just telling you things, but he's also connecting it with things that we have seen in the show. And so it's showing kind of like flashbacks while he's talking, connecting it all, right? But that's a really good way to get across like a huge point that would be almost not impossible, but difficult to show essentially. But like I said, for me, I think it's always better to show than to tell. There's always a good time to tell, and I think that would be when it is something so big that it would be impossible to show, or when it's something that the characters will later experience or have experienced and needs a little more explanation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So speaking on that, I was about to say the exact same thing, and I was about to use One Piece as an example. They show you hockey, but you don't know it's hockey, and then it kind of gets hinted at it later. So it gets told to you about hockey, and then you get shown what it is again, like once you already heard about it, and then you like kind of get the flashback back to when it first happened, and you're like, oh, that was hockey. And then they do that a lot, like in One Piece. Oda's really good at that, where it's almost like foreshadowing, like when he tells in a foreshadowing manner. I think that is a great way. Like you hear about Ace, you hear about Blackbeard, and then it shows you after, but they don't tell you too much, you know, like because you can't overload it. Going on to another anime where they did overload it, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, they kind of tell you the mom was like, oh, I love you so much, but I think in that case it would have been better to show her love to was it Daniel, show her love instead of telling, because it just kind of David, yeah. So like, oh, it's like, I love you so much, I work so hard, like, they could have maybe gone a little further to show that, but it was kind of a short anime, so for time sense they had to send it like that. But I mean, there's a time and a place to show versus tell, and I think using them in tandem is probably the best move.
Pope?
You know what? Show versus tell. I'm gonna go with tell. Simple reason. It's always, it's never a spoiler alert, but it's always a cliffhanger. So, I'll start with one example, being Dragon Ball Z, right? There's always a conversation where there's a hint of there's someone having great potential. And it's always like, wait, damn, is that true? Well, let me keep watching because I want to see what the turnout is going to be. And then they show everything that they talked about. It's like, okay, there was a hint at these powerful beings coming to Earth, and then they came. There was a hint at Goku becoming stronger and having this beast within him, and it was shown. There was a hint at Gohan having great potential, and then it was finally unleashed. And it's always the same thing over and over again. And that, I for me, that's one of the reasons that I was sticking to Dragon Ball Z and I stuck to it so much because there was always a conversation where it's like, yo, there's somebody strong, there's some type of potential, and I always wanted to see what could this possibly be. Um, Another anime, and I think we recently, and then today too. I'll do My Hero Academia for one. There's always a conversation about the quirks with Deku. This new quirk and its hidden potential, its potential in general. All of them with their potentials. There's always this conversation where, you know, hey, we can possibly do this, and you always want to see. You always want to see what the outcome is going to be. I think in My Hero, there's a little bit more mixture of show too, because sometimes the character will pop out with his brand new move, and it'll be like, oh my god, where did this come from? And then right there, there'll be the explanation. Yeah, while I was training such and such, I realized I could do this, and I decided to do this, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I could agree and say that maybe sometimes it's a healthy balance, but if you were to ask personal preference, I would say one, I enjoy telling more because I don't want to just see it like that. I want it to be a little bit of a build up, like tease me a little bit, you know. Just don't hand me this beautiful plate of food. Bring me, you know something in the beginning, you know, whet my appetite, and then let me have it, you know. That's just my personal take on it, but I can see where the healthy balance works out because I think certain shows, certain animes do give you that healthy balance, and I think some of them do more telling than showing, and then vice versa. But I prefer telling.
I actually wanted to piggyback off of what you said. Like, I think Dragon Ball Z is more, what's it called? It's more show, but then it does like a good balance of show then tell. Like yeah, it showed Gohan like out of nowhere breaks through that Saiyan pod and just headbutts the shit out of Raditz, and then it's like, oh, what the, this guy is strong, like, and it doesn't really like tell us until like later after the fight with Raditz. It cuts to Vegeta in the Saiyan pod coming to Earth, saying, maybe there's like a strong like mixture between the human and Saiyan hybrid offsprings. And then like later in the Cell Saga, I don't think they hinted at like Gohan being the strong one at all. It was more of like a showing, like whenever Goku was like, after they came out of the hyperbolic time chamber, Gohan now has Super Saiyan form, and like the whole time like everyone's looking at Goku's the one to defeat Cell. And then like when Goku like first shows his full power to Korin, like everyone's just like blown away, like whoa, what is this? And the only one who doesn't have this reaction is Gohan's just sitting there staring at Goku like, okay. And like, but like if you're watching this for the first time, you're not gonna see this type of thing. It's like something you have to like see, like watch back when like after everything is said and done. And then like when Goku fights Cell, like it's still like no hint toward Gohan at all. Like after Goku fights Cell, like he's like, all right, I'm done. I got someone stronger than for you. It's gonna be Gohan. And then like everyone in the audience, maybe not the audience, but everyone in the show is like, Gohan? Why Gohan? What the fuck has he done up until this point? Like other than like show glimpses of great potential, you know? So, but then like after Gohan finally turns Super Saiyan 2, then Goku like has like his inner monologue of, yeah, I knew he was the one. It showed like what really happened in the hyperbolic time chamber. Yeah, I saw him turn Super Saiyan 2. Like for just a split second, I know he was the one who could defeat Cell. Like so like that, like Dragon Ball Z has like this really good like showing and then a little bit of telling here or there. And then like when they do the tell part, it just seems like kind of forced. Like when Zenkai boosts were explained in Super, it was just like Trunks is just like, yeah, like they already used up the max power they can reach with the Zenkai boost. It's like kind of like forced telling here or there, so it's not like they don't really do a good job of it when they try to do it, you know. Yeah, unless anyone has anything on that, I'm pretty sure Seven Ninja has something he wants to bring up.
I was gonna talk about you basically been talking about foreshadowing a lot right there. And I'm thinking about like have you guys seen The Incredibles?
Yes.
A little bit.
Good movie.
Oh. I'm thinking about how Edna Mode talks about like no capes.
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm going, right? And I'm like, I saw like something recent on this, so I'm thinking about it. But like, and we kind of have an idea of like why she doesn't want a cape, but we're kind of also like, you know, Mr. Incredible can't fly. Like this isn't gonna be an issue for him. But at the end, when Syndrome is right beside the turbine of that jet. I see why. I see why she doesn't want to do that. And it's like, in a sense, she's telling us that it happens. Like, this is probably going to happen. But getting to see, like, an actual live, this is happening moment it was impactful enough to me to understand why, like, you know, capes are stupid. You know, like, I get it. I get it, you know. And so...
Okay.
You know,
yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Okay. So it's like, yeah, it's one of those moments where, like, I feel like it's a tell, but it's like it's a tell that, like Pope says, it's an appetizer to like when they're showing that big moment.
Okay. Let's see. I can't like when it's like a tell, when it's more of like leave you to. Okay, I see what you're talking about with the show versus telling now. Like when it's a tell, that's like a foreshadow that hints at something that leaves you to ponder, but it leaves a stigma in your head. So when it comes back later, you will remember that telling point.
Yeah.
Okay, I was really I thought this was more of like show, like they learn something versus tell, like explain when they do something, like afterwards. Like Attack on Titan does it a lot, like the whole explaining like Aaron's like Titan powers afterwards whenever he does something new or something along the lines. But in a foreshadowing sense. Yeah, definitely.
Well, it's kind of another piece.
Oh, it's another piece.
Kind of another piece of the pie. Because when I was thinking about it originally, like when I was trying to come up like when show versus tell, it kind of spiraled out to a couple different sections. There's the idea of foreshadowing. There's this idea of like in gaming, like is it better to let me know what's all possible within the world, or do we do what Elden Ring does and we kind of make you say like, okay, here's an idea what could be here. I'll go search out and go look. And so showing versus telling for me kind of went in multiple different directions, like, and I tried to like bring it down to something simple for everybody to really talk about there. But it's kind of another piece with foreshadowing.
In gaming, definitely showing more than telling for sure. Because like I can't stand when you start like a new game, and like they give out those tutorials that just non-stop reading, and I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna remember any of this. Like this is too much. Like definitely when they like slowly give you superpowers, and then they'll tell you like, oh yeah, to use this you gotta press these buttons and it does this, it increased these stats, blah blah blah.
I get you 100%. And I guess on that one it was going to be like it's like, when is it really okay to break immersion? Like, because I feel like we probably, it's hard for me to pinpoint a game, but I know that there has to have been a game somewhere where it was like, I really just couldn't figure out where to go or what to do in in some situation, and it was like literally, like, and I guess it's another way of saying it's like, a game for me when it comes to when you should break immersion is like, a game should never really make me feel like lost in a sense of like I'm just out. I already don't have a clue what to do. Having a sense of wonder, a curiosity, like Elden Ring or like Red Dead Redemption, to me, like that kind of loss is a different feeling because you're really you're curious, you're looking around. But lost in the sense of literally I have nowhere to go. It's kind of one of those times where I really feel like a break in the immersion is important.
Yeah, the game that comes to my mind is Breath of the Wild. When it comes to that type of stuff, it's like even if they don't explain like everything in the world, like it's a big vast world, so you want to explore, and then you'll come across a lot of things through exploring, and then it'll be like, oh yeah, you found this and it means this type of thing. See, Pulp, Churro, Chewy, you guys got anything on show versus telling and gaming?
I'm gonna steal this one from a very famous video on YouTube, but the best thing, the one that I come up with that I think of is in my favorite video game, Mega Man X. If you guys have never seen the Ego Raptor video on Mega Man X, on how good the concept of it is, of showing you what your character can do versus just like having a prompt pop up and saying like, hey, you can climb up a wall if you do this or this. It's super good because like at the very beginning of the game, they literally just spawn you in level 1, drop you in, and assume that you're gonna know what to do. But their assumption is correct because they put you in a situation where you have to figure it out in a safe situation. You see the first enemy, you see some cars coming at you. You know, the first enemy isn't going to hurt you. The first enemy isn't going to be able to kill you, and the cars aren't going to be able to hurt you. And then at some point in the stage, you actually come up to a wall, and you say, like, how do I get past this wall? And kind of the only thing you can do is run at it. And when you run at it, they put you in a situation where you're going to actually glide down. You're going to slide down the wall, and they show you, hey, you can do this. Now just start pressing some buttons, and you're going to figure it out. And it's a really, really good, like, example of, like, hey, this is the things you can do with it, or this is the things you can do in the game. And like I said, I always prefer showing versus telling. I understand the concept of like, hey, sometimes you need the telling aspect because, you know, people have to know what's going on in the world. But for me, when somebody says like there has to be a fine like mixture of both, I still feel like you have to have more showing versus telling, because it would be boring to me if somebody just came in, like, I'll just take Dragon Ball as an example, and somebody be like, hey, this is Goku. He's the strongest person. He beat this person, and he beat up this guy, and he also knows how to do this thing called the Spirit Bomb. Anyway, there you go. And it's like, wait, you just told me all those things. Can you prove it? Can you prove that he did do all those things? And it's like, nah, watch him fight this dude now. It's like, is he going to use any of the things you said? You're going to see how strong he is, but it's nice that they show you like his slight progression over just telling you, hey, he can do this, trust me, kind of thing.
That kind of reminds me of Churro. Have you ever seen any of these Korean manhwas where they're like, they always have like that one villain guy that's like, he's the great lotus of whatever, and this is like this guy's like name and title. He's got like lackeys in the background telling about how great he is, and like he always. It's like you never really see how great they are, but you'll see like maybe the pro tag. You may see like some random guy like that's supposed to be like not a villain but just some random guy, and he'll be doing something special. But they always tell about how great this guy is, and then like he always you know this character because he or she shows up in every single one of those manhwas. But it's one of those. Go ahead.
You mentioned there's a manga that I actually want to finish reading that's called Fairy's Landing. It's a Korean manga, and the main protagonist of it is supposed to be like this juvenile, this like, you know, like the bad boy, the super strong guy at school, you don't fuck with him kind of thing. And I remember reading it, and everybody's just like, oh, it's him, don't mess with him. But then he always gets shit on. He never actually wins a fight. But everybody's always just like, oh, don't fuck with him. And I'm like, prove to me that he's a badass, please. He's just getting shit on every episode. Yeah, but no, I know exactly what you mean. And I don't know why the Korean mangas have a bad habit of doing it too.
It's crazy.
Chewy, Pope, what do you guys think about showing versus telling in gaming?
You got anything, Pope? I'm about to go off. I'm about to cook for a little bit.
Let me get my plate ready.
Yeah, what you cooking, man? I'm on the way. No, Ducks in gaming, showing versus telling in gaming. Oh,
Say it with your chest.
I'm saying, right? Yeah. Hold on. In gaming as opposed to like in anime, right? It's like so me sitting down playing the game as opposed to like me sitting down watching a show is what you're saying. I mean, obviously, yeah, in a show, like I want to be teased, so tell me some shit and then show me. You feel me? In the game, I don't know.
Let's say there's no storytelling in a game. It's just like telling you about your abilities and how to play the game versus you figuring it out on your own.
Nah, I like to figure it out on my own. Reason being is because there's been times when I've done shit and I don't even know how the fuck I did that. And a lot of times I play video games like that, fighting games. I'll just jump in and just start swinging and getting a feel for things. And then I'll look at the controls. And then I'll look at the inputs. And I'm like, oh shit, that's what that does. So, I don't know. I just like to be thrown into the wilderness and kind of like just put my mental against what's there and figure it out. And then give me a manual. And, now I'm OP. But yeah, that's my take on that.
Let him cook.
All right, the chef.
The dish is ready. What do you call it? So I think the Churro, you were talking about your Yoshi combo that you do. That was like the kick in midair, then you go into like a down smash or something like that.
Up smash, but yes.
So some of those you have to have been experienced these, like you have to have been shown in order for you to kind of comprehend this stuff. And like which those roommates that we would all play Smash together, we would have these crazy conversations about Smash just because we were all so proficient in it. And then flipping this over to the Rocket League side of things, there's like you have to experience the damn game before, because I coach people in Rocket League, so and I do. It's a lot of telling mostly because it's more rotational as opposed to mechanics. But there's still some like things that you have to experience, like the ball bounces, the way the physics of your car and the ball move combined together as well. The way the rotations kind of work in the lower ranks and why they're all wrong. So then once you like get shown these and learn like a certain amount of Rocket League, which the homie was telling me, you kind of have to be a plat before my coaching is relevant to you, because like I could just keep yapping all day about Rocket League, but if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, then it's not gonna benefit you at all. So there's a certain amount of shown that you have to have under your belt before the telling will start to work, or even you could have like a conversation about this or that. So
okay,
that was my video game show versus tell.
Churro had to take off, so no worries there. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. When it comes to like a forewarning, what's called forewarning in a story sense, like telling is like little hints. I like that. When it comes to actually like showing special moves and all that stuff, not forewarning, foreshadowing. My bad. When it comes to like showing like some of these cool things, like little hints. I don't want to be explained what something is. I want to see it. And then maybe a little bit of an explanation afterwards. When it comes to like gaming and stuff like that, like same thing. If there's a story in it, just little hints. Keep me wondering. Oh, what is this? If it's like something like a fighting game, for instance, like Pope said, like if it's like Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Super Smash, I prefer to like like learn it myself and then be like, oh shit, what was that? And then kind of like look it up to see like how I did that, like in like Street Fighter, like you know, if you just press buttons, like it just does hits, punches, kicks. Tekken, if you like do it in a specific way, like if you're just mashing buttons and then like all of a sudden a special move pops up, like, oh shit, what the hell was that? I want to see more of that. Like, how did I do that? Like, then I'll be wanting told something like that. That's like kind of my final thought on showing versus telling. Anyone else got anything?
I did have a quick thing. This is more story-wise telling, though the Fallout series does it really well when you get to read the computer things, and it usually kind of. I mean, well, I guess there is the showing of, because you go into an environment and you see it and you're like, what the heck went on here? But then Fallout, they explain everything in the computer transcripts or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, oh, how did this vault go to crap? And then you get to see something like, oh, they did these experiments. So I think Fallout does a really good job of telling in that sense.
Okay.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah, that's all you got. All right. Final thoughts on the show versus telling. Then Pope and Seven Ninja, and stuff. We start with Pope first.
Final thoughts on the show versus telling. To be honest with you, I probably would have to stick to what I was saying earlier. In terms of anime, or in terms of shows in general, wide range from movies to series to animes to whatever. I like the tease. I don't want you to give it to me off rip. Let there be, some type of conversation, something weird happening, I you know what, I will say that the only time that I think I enjoyed a show over a tell was The Walking Dead. And it was a particular scene in an episode that actually closed out, I think it closed out a season, which I thought was just phenomenal. It's when the character Jesus died. I don't know if you guys are familiar with The Walking Dead, but it's the whole zombie apocalypse thing, and you've got a few survivors, so on and so forth. We've all seen probably a lot of memes about, Rick or Michonne or something like that, but they're like the main characters. And there was a character in one of the seasons, his name was Jesus, and he was acrobatic. He was like the first character they brought out that, was using like kung fu type of moves and stuff, and he's like flipping around and using a knife and kind of close combat, and it was like super cool. He was OP, and they just happened to have to deal with, and we didn't know this at the time, and this is why I say this is probably the only time where the showing was so epic over the telling for me. They're fighting a horde of walkers that are coming into the graveyard, and Jesus is like, he's literally doing his thing. He's like moving around, slicing them. It's cool. And then all of a sudden, because we all know how zombies move, okay? Like your regular zombies, not like your hyper super zombies. Like the regular slow walking, I'm gonna grab you if you trip and fall. We see one of them all of a sudden duck. Like, we've never seen this before, right? And Jesus is acrobatic, he's slicing, he's doing his thing, and he goes to swipe one of them. And the zombie literally ducked under him and came up and put a knife into his back.
Oh, shit.
And everyone was just like, oh, exactly what you said. Oh, shit. That's what we said. We couldn't believe it. And I was like, oh, my fucking God. And he died. And I was like, oh, my God, Jesus, no.
Not again.
They killed Jesus.
Oh, jeez. Not again.
Hey, thank you again. I think that was just one of the most epic shows because there was no foreshadowing. I think that if you were watching it, you were seeing little hints. But then again, that's a show. They weren't really telling, no one was really talking about people dressed as zombies because that's what they later turned out to be. there was some type of hint of maybe some, different type of, maybe, upgraded type of zombie, but not people, masquerading and parading around as actual zombies, moving as zombies, like moving into the horde. So, like I said, that's the only time I would think like a show would be better than a tell for me, and it was in that epic proportion, in those epic proportions. But other than that, man, yeah, I do enjoy, I do enjoy the tease. As far as the games are concerned, like, yeah, just let me go ahead and get in there. So show me some shit. Let me press some buttons and see something happen, and then I'll read a manual.
Alrighty. Let's see. Last thoughts on show versus telling. Seven Ninja.
Nah. I had something, but it's gone.
All right. What would you like? You said I forget if we did. What would you pick versus like show versus tell? Like if you had to choose one.
Shoot. I mean, really, originally I was gonna go with show, but like Pope, what he talked about, like Dragon Ball anime, he kind of convinced me on that telling part. I guess if you guys remember, I posted a video a while back called I think it's like in appreciation of good exposition, and it's like I think it really just depends on the execution of it all, truth be told. Like you said before, an appetizer is going to cause me to want to watch the show more, or at least want to figure out what they're talking about, versus like I don't need to know like I've seen like another video. It's like Rey from like Star Wars. It's literally she does something to find out like how far away a wall is inside of this like mind game area, and then like later she tells me like, oh, I realized like I'd be able to reach the end of this because it's not going on forever. And it was like, well, we already figured that out because like you were doing something before, And so it's like it's kind of one of those situations like it's like where. Well, I'm going to talk about two different things. One is like where like we don't need to know what you did. We already seen what you did. Leave that up to the viewer. And the second one is it's still in the same video where it's like exposition really telling me exposition when it shouldn't have happened, where there's not enough context for me to be able to really understand it. To me, is kind of how do I put that? Telling me exposition in a situation where I really wouldn't understand why it's there, there's no context, to me is probably like when it's bad telling. There's also bad telling when a character feels like they should know something, but for whatever reason they're talking as if like that person has no idea, when they themselves are high enough or have seen that same information already. So it's like, why don't they know?
Yeah, definitely. Chewy, final thoughts. What would you pick?
Yeah, I like the telling, or no, the showing, but yeah, I'm more of I like to get shown stuff like, oh, this is hockey. That's what but they go hand in hand. So I think a good balance of both in moderation. So I do think you need both to kind of play off each other because you get the teases and then the teases pay off like the build up, which, but yeah, and then kind of the same for video games, like, oh, you need both of them to work together, but I still lean more towards the showing, just because you need that experience of being in the game to know what the heck we're talking about. So, yeah, it's like my final thoughts on that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same boat as Chewy. I'm going to do one last ad read, and then we'll do the closeout. The Great American Story by U.S. Comics is now available. This stunning 360-page graphic novel explains America's origin story from the landing of English separatists to the victory by the Continental Army at Yorktown. You can find America Part 1 at uscomics.com. Is that it? Yeah, looks like that's it. All right. Let's see. you usually have the questions for like what we're doing next, Seven Ninja. I always forget them though. Next week is the Dragon Ball Z podcast, so if anyone's still there, please tune in for that one. The Great Nimbus Debates, where we debate all the vague thing and try and find answers in the Dragon Ball world with our own heads. When it comes to the Nerding Out podcast, I am looking for talent, people to join the panel. I am working on making both Dragon Ball Z podcast and this one both a weekly thing. I'm just kind of looking for like more people to have to make sure I have like around like if I could have 4 people per podcast at the minimum, that'd be awesome. What's it called? Yeah. Other than that, like next week we don't have, or in 2 weeks for this podcast, I don't have anything like set in motion yet. Pope King, if you would like to come up with the anime for the next one.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
Yeah, so look forward to that on what anime we're discussing next. But yeah, that's all I got. Unless Seven Ninja, you got anything to add afterwards?
Okay. Everyone, before you leave, tell what your favorite anime, not favorite. Tell what anime you're watching right now.
Oh yeah. Last closing thoughts on what you guys thought about the podcast. What anime are you watching now? And plug your socials one last time. We can start with, I forget who we started with last. We'll go with Chewy first this time.
All right. So, what I'm watching right now, One Piece.
Hey.
I've caught up, but I'm at to the point where I don't want to catch up. So I'm slow burning the last arc right now, just because I'm like, I don't want to let go of this world. But yeah, I'm probably gonna move on to Jujutsu Kaisen next because I heard it was good.
Oh my god, so fire!
Martial art. So yeah, that's gonna be what I'm moving on next. What was there another thing? Oh, what I thought of the
final thoughts on the podcast.
Okay, it was pretty fun. Just kind of hearing y'all's perspective on the live action, and me and Churro being we know, we know about what's going on in One Piece. So that was pretty fun dynamic. And then yeah, Super Smash Bros. I love Super Smash Bros. And that pondering stuff kind of took me by surprise. I was like, I had to like actually think. Usually, I'm like, video game fight punch, anime fight punch. Like it's pretty easy to kind of come up with those. So thank you, Seven Ninja, for getting me to actually kind of get the wheels turning in my head. And for everyone out there, I am Stuff Central. I do have a link tree that is just kind of Linktree/Stuff Central, and then that'll lead you to all my different YouTube, Kick, Rumble, and all that. So
nice. Pope King, final thoughts, anime you're watching now, and plug your socials.
In terms of the podcast, I love it. I love what you do. You've inspired me to even go on that journey myself. So it's always a W when it comes to the podcast. Even I'm actually streaming it right now. I actually titled it. I had the Great Nimbus Debates, but this is the Nerding Out. My chat's actually saying the same thing, W podcast.
Oh, so, sick.
Nice.
I had a few people in here. I started my journey on TikTok. You can always check me out there on PKX at TikTok.com. And a lot of these guys have actually, a lot of these people, because it's a mixture of female and male, they followed me over here to Twitch. So they were actually in here a little bit earlier while we were having the debate.
Girl dance. I can't hear the music. Who is tech?
So, shout out to them. W chat, always W community. Now, in terms of, I think, what was your other question? It was the podcast and...
plug your socials. With final thoughts and plug your socials. Oh, and then what anime are you watching?
Oh, my current anime. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Somebody here has to have seen it and heard of it. I parry everything. Come on, I know you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it. I fucking do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here. I was like, if I had to put money on it, I'd say 7 fucking Ninja, and I was fucking right. I'm not gonna lie. I did a watch party the other day, Some of them, some of the people from my community was in there, and it was W. There was only like 3 episodes, but OMG, Seven Ninja, I know you're the type to hit the manga. I don't know if you did already, but just from what I'm seeing, I fucking love it, and it's so simple. It's so simple. It's not like complicated at all. I love it. I parry everything.
It makes me think of Saitama a bit, like, but he's kind of like, his issue is his confidence, and it's pretty much like life has basically told him like he's not capable, but like he is.
From that
it's like
first, but remember he lost his parents, so there was
Yeah.
never anyone to like teach him to have confidence and believe in himself. And the first time he goes for something that was a dream of him, he's told that he can't do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, you're right. It is the confidence, but that's not like a weakness. It's just like that's part of his character and who he is. You feel me? It's like his dreams got crushed, and that's just forever. And he's just always constantly working to accomplish that. Even though he did, and he said it. He was like, "Yo, my dream of such and such has been accomplished." So he's just fucking chilling right now. But yes, that's the current anime.
I do love that he found a way. I love that he found a way, though.
Oh my, what? Found a way is an understatement. He doesn't even know where he stands. OMG, bro.
What was this anime called again?
I parry everything.
I parry everything.
I parry everything.
And to plug my socials, you guys can check me out on Twitch, PopeKingX, on Twitch.com. I'm also on TikTok, PKX. Also on YouTube, check me out, PKX. That's just a shorter version of Pope King X. Yeah, man, that's about it.
Alrighty, Seven Ninja. Final thoughts, anime you're watching, plug your socials.
As always, I enjoy our talks on nerding out, in between nerding out. I've always enjoyed it, so this hasn't changed. Favorite anime not favorite anime. But anime I'm watching right now, Golden Kamuy is what I'm gonna start soon. It seems to be World War II, I think. That's what I think. I don't know for certain, but I think it's World War II or World War I they're in. Shimohaya. I think it's World War I. So that's what I'm planning on watching soon.
Shimohaya.
And socials. And for socials, it's going to be check out 7 Ninja 7 at Rumble, MeWe, Game Jolt. If you just type in 7 Ninja 7 and you see my green and black logo, that's me. More than likely it's me, but make sure it says The Phantom on it. That's me.
Nice. Final thoughts on the podcast. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed our talks. The Piece one was pretty good. I enjoyed hearing you guys talk about the spoilers and stuff like that. Makes me feel like I should be caught up. I should continue on. Oh yeah, and I should definitely finish watching that 8th episode. Other than that, I want to thank everyone on the panel. I want to thank all the viewers for being here. I think it was a good podcast. What's it called? I am on a lot of platforms. The easiest one is to kind of copy what Stuff Central did. Just check my link tree, Squall Rush, linktr.ee/Squall Rush. One word, no spaces, no dashes. It's called anime I'm watching now. I need to finish Solo Leveling, which is like no one can get stronger in this world except for one guy. That's the main character, and it's like he was known as the weakest like monster hunter of this world, and then now he has the ability to level up out of nowhere, so he's coming up. Another one I am gonna start watching is Tower of God season 2. My Hero Academia season 6 or season 7, whatever they're on. Definitely got to get caught up on those.
Yeah, I did a watch party for that one today.
Nice.
Yeah, other than that, I don't got nothing else. Can't wait to watch those. Can't wait to see you all in the next one. But yeah. Peace.
Thanks for having me.
Later.
Yes, sir.